Did you get your phone?
I did, and it was the UPS guy.
Son of a bitch.
And
He has an accent.
Oh, you talked to him this time.
Yeah.
They exchanged
We
what?
exchanged numbers. Just kidding.
Well, he knows where you live, so.
He waves at her every time we leave the neighborhood and he's coming in.
He does not.
What kind of accent does he have?
Like a southern.
Sexy one.
Yeah, southern, sexy kind of
It just
accent.
gets worse.
It
just gets worse.
And he likes dogs, so we kind of connected.
So now we know.
And he
that.
likes dogs, so obviously you had a good conversation with him.
Yeah.
All right, so I have, let's see. That's going. This is going.
Good.
We're good?
So are these all tied together, or you got 3 different tracks going?
3 different tracks going.
Yeah, so these get put into the program on their own, and then this spits out a track. You can set it so it just spits out like a one combined file for everything, or you can, I have it set so.
You get all 3.
Yeah, she talks quieter than I do.
Yeah.
So we'll have all 3 mics.
It's a good thing, not a bad thing.
And then that's on its own track too. So you can
leave it in or take it out.
Yeah, leave it, take it.
That's a
make
lot.
it louder.
See that production right there? I mean, you got 7 tracks. You're trying to put all the. It's a pain in the ass.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Plus lining everything up because like you're hitting record at different times than this.
So do you know the trick for that?
No. Well, the Final Cut Pro has a thing where you can put it all together, and then it'll do its thing and match everything perfectly. But I couldn't figure out how to use it.
It's like this.
Oh yeah.
You can use those. Now you have those spikes, and you can just line them right up.
Right.
That's that. You know that thing they use at the take number 12. That's why they do that, because all their audio and video tracks are different, and so when they do that, they know that's the start of each one of them.
Right.
I was
Matches
like,
up.
what the hell is that thing for? That's the dumbest thing I ever seen.
Right.
Okay.
So just clap when you're ready to go and you're like going to start recording. Just clap really loud, and it'll pick it up on every track, and you're good.
Yeah, we'll have to start doing that. I'm still new to all that shit, so I don't know what.
Yeah, I got Wally and Kyle, and they're coaching me on all the stuff that they do. I guess the whole TV thing is like, this is what they do in TV. They just shoot stuff raw. Wally's wanting to start shooting B-roll stuff now, and I'm like, okay, cool. What is that? How does that work? What do we do?
Yeah, we did a little. That's why we got that camera when we were doing the Jeep stuff, because that's cool. Like you can do the slow-mo in 120 frames per second, 240 frames per second, and it makes the videos turn out so much better.
Yeah, it was so much more interesting.
Yeah, so we were doing that with that camera a lot.
But you don't shoot this with that.
No. Just because I don't think we have the space to. Like, if we would move this table out a little bit and be able to use that camera, because that camera is obviously way better quality than these 2 are. These will shoot 4K, but I mean the video quality on that is 10 times better.
Well, there's new ones coming out too now, so you can get the new.
They're coming today.
The hot UPS guy is probably going to drop ours off as we're talking here.
Got it.
Sam has the hots for you. The UPS guy, the milkman.
She's still hanging out with you, so you're all right.
I know.
You're okay.
She's still right here, but I'm a little worried.
She's sitting next to you, like she'd made me sit on this side of the table,
right,
so you could sit on that side. So you're still all right.
We did talk about you being over here.
You did.
And I was like, yeah, I'm
and
sure you'd like that.
And she showered too, right? I mean, I heard you showered, so.
Yeah, we booked you to come on Friday, so she was like, all right, I got to shower.
Good thing I'm
Thursday.
on the other side of the table.
I got to shave my legs.
Yeah.
So we don't really have, anything to talk to you about.
All right, good. I'm glad I, fueled my truck up. And
yeah, that's
left
kind
at
of
the early dawn and morning to drive north, and
right.
Good.
What time did you leave?
I left my house at about 7:50.
Really?
Yeah.
It took an hour or what?
No, I can't figure out what is the best way to get here. Do I take the 15? Do I take the 215? Do I cut it in the middle on Rainbow? And so
I would think in the morning the 215 would be better to come this way, right?
It's okay, and it's not good from the 15 to Summerlin.
Oh, really?
Mall. It's packed all the way to there, but once you get past that, it frees up pretty good.
I'm sure the 15 is the same way, right? From you to after the strip sucks.
Well,
Charleston or something.
Well, to the 95 Spaghetti Bowl, it's terrible all the way to there.
And then once you're there, it's free.
And then Rainbow, it's just, stoplight after stoplight after stoplight, construction after construction. So today I tried the Rainbow route, and and then your guys' little Spaghetti Bowl out here, like they've changed that since last time I was out here, and I got off on the wrong ramp because used to you get off on the west ramp, and then it used to go, you could go on to Durango there, not Durango, what street is that? Where the park is. Anyway, you could get off there and then come up to Farm. But now you stay off that ramp and go to the next exit. And so I had to go to Jones and go up Jones. And then I'm coming in this way instead of that way. And I didn't know where the hell I was at.
Well, you found it. So
well, once I got closer, I was like, okay, all right, yeah, I'm going to turn here, turn there, and I'll figure it out. But yeah,
it's weird living out here. It's so far. It's not so far from everything, but it is. I mean, because it's literally 10 minutes to go to get gas.
Yeah.
You can't go to a convenience store around here.
Really?
It sucks.
You're right. There's not. Now that you got to go all the way. You got to go that way into. Why can't I think what the street that is?
Well, there's Durango. Durango comes around the corner right there, and it turns next Farm and Durango.
Yeah, Durango. Can I get off on the freeway on Durango?
Right.
Yeah, you used to be able to get off on the west ramp, and the ramp split, and you could go straight on Durango, or you had to turn right to go over the 215. Well, that doesn't exist anymore. It's just off ramps. It's
changed a bunch over the last 2 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been crazy, and there's going to be, just like you said, Spaghetti Bowl at the 95 and 15. All of that is happening over here too.
Yeah. I mean, it's nice. I mean, when I was getting off the off ramp, I was like, oh, you can actually go west now instead of having to get off, make a U-turn, get back on.
Yeah, that was such a pain in the ass.
Yeah, but it worked good.
Yeah.
I was lost for a minute, but I figured it out. The other question is, how do I get back on the 95 going south?
From
you
here?
Can't do it from Durango.
To get back on the 95?
Yeah. You have to go down to the 215.
So you get on 215, and then 215 goes south onto the 95.
From Jones, though, right? Like if I go to the Spaghetti Bowl area and try to do that, I can't do it.
You'd have to go to Durango. So if you go to Durango and get on the 215 right there, then it's just it literally just, I don't even know if you get on the 215. You just literally get off onto the 95 right there. So if you go Durango,
that's changed recently.
Yeah, if you go Durango and then you turn left onto the 215.
Yeah, it's got that little stoplight, right? Like it's an odd way to get on a freeway.
There's really no stoplight there anymore.
Oh,
so they split it up right there to get on the 95 right away.
Okay. Yeah, it's changed. I'm going to go to Jones and then get on.
Yeah, Jones 215, and then you can get on the 90. There's that big overpass on ramp now.
Yeah.
That's what I'll go.
Yes.
I do like it out here. I mean, these guys can't see it, but the view's good.
Yeah, we can see that shooting range from our bedroom.
You can? Can you hear it?
No.
No? Like they don't shoot anything big enough that you can actually hear?
I don't know. I've never heard it.
I've never heard it either.
Yeah, but you can see it. It's right there. It's weird.
It's at the top of Jones, so yeah, it's right there.
Durango or Decatur. Yeah, all the way out on Decatur. I've never been there. I have 4 guns that we've bought in the last couple of years that I've never shot. That one I carry every day.
He carries it, but he's never shot it.
Never shot that one.
Well, you better know how to shoot it if you're going to carry it. Someone's going to take it away and use it against you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I have a safe that's completely full of guns. We got a bunch of guns from Paula's dad when he passed, and then, of course, we got some from Grandpa when he passed, and I have several, and probably haven't shot a gun in 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, I know. We haven't either. We always talk about taking the Jeep and going. I don't know where to go, though. Where did we used to go? We used to go between Pahrump, right?
Yeah, so go over the hump and the first right after you go over the hump, which is where the bar is. Go past the bar, and then that first right, you can go out, I don't know, 2 miles or so, and there's tons of places out there to shoot.
I'm wondering if that's where Rocky Gap is.
Oh, is it?
I don't know. I don't remember. It's been a long time since we went out there.
What's Rocky Gap? Is that like
That's a Jeep trail where you go out that way, you go off the freeway, you go down this long road for maybe, 3 miles, 4 miles or something? Maybe not that long. And then you take a right and it takes you up through Red Rock. You go over the top of Red Rock down into actual Red Rock Canyon, and then you come out there.
At the loop or something?
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
it's a really cool trail.
I think that the trail you're talking about, you actually go, when you go over the hump, it's a really straight road, and then it turns right, like you're going to turn right and go towards Pahrump, and I think that's where you turn right again to go on the trail that you're talking about. But so
it's before that
shooting
or after
is like
that?
Right in the middle of that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so before you get to the big right turn towards Pahrump, it's about midway from the hump to that turn.
Okay.
Is where you would turn off. And there's only one spot where you can actually turn off right after you go past the bar.
Okay.
Right after, it's probably 5 miles past the bar,
right
over the hump.
Okay,
it's a good place to shoot. And then people shoot out toward like the dry lake beds. If you get on Old Highway, go past the
turn off at the Loves.
No, the other way. My part of town.
Oh, okay.
South.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Out the south. There's places out there where people shoot as well on the east side of the freeway.
Okay.
Up against the mountain. Or, you could go to the shooting range that's just about
5
a mile
minutes
from
away.
your house. Yeah, you could go there too.
True that. Yeah, we need to make a plan to go do that, because there's a lot of stuff that I need to shoot that literally hasn't been shot and only been shot once, or new
same.
ones that haven't been shot at all.
Yeah, same. I want to go shoot some of the stuff I just got from out of Grandpa's safe. Like he's got some really nice stuff that was in there that we should be playing with at least.
Yeah. Yeah, he'd like that.
Well, now that we're 12 minutes in, we haven't even introduced who our guest is.
That's true. We've talked about Vegas traffic, and nobody's going to know about Vegas traffic.
Yeah. Well, now you know. Vegas traffic is great, by the way. Like, it's really not that bad.
No,
it's just we live a long ways away from each other.
It's not LA or anything like that.
Yeah,
it's not bad like that.
No, I mean, you guys live as far north as you can live in town, and I live as far south as I can live in town.
Yeah.
And when you bought this house, you know how pissed off I was about that. But
did look.
It is what it is.
We did look out in your neck of the woods.
You did. Agreed. Yeah.
We looked at a lot of houses.
Yeah.
You said that we were the only clients you've ever had that didn't have like a radius. People give you like, I want to live in this part of town.
Yeah, you had no criteria on.
We looked in Henderson.
Yeah,
we looked as north as possible. We looked everywhere.
Yeah, you got a good house though. This is, I mean, you guys can be here for a while and grow into it. It's big enough for what you need. Get yourself an offsite garage. Yeah, it's a great property. I hate where it is in town, but that's.
I don't say we like where it is. Do you? Like if you could take this house and move it somewhere else, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I would.
I would too.
I do like being around the horse property though. Like that makes me feel like home.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great picking up shit in the tires, as on your way to Walmart or whatever.
Staples in the
park it in the garage, and then what's that smell?
Yeah.
But
idiot.
Does that happen? Is it really that bad? Do they like ride out here, or
they do on the streets.
Oh, that's cool.
Right around our house, they do. We've never run over shit. I always just say that because it's a possibility.
It's going to happen at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, they do ride around here a lot. There's actually, apparently you can just see everything from our bedroom window, but from our bedroom window, there's like a big, it's not like a stadium, right? Like it's just in some guy's backyard, but they do have
like a big horse corral.
Yeah.
And they
lights.
ride and
lights and everything, and they ride.
Train.
Stadium.
Yeah.
Like that's, there's actually quite a bit of that out in this part of town because this is where people come to do it when town was growing and all that kind of stuff. So
yeah, they have a really nice, what is that place called? Like Divinity or something like that. It's like, it looks like something that, like grandma took us to horse camp when we were smaller. It looks something like that, but like very upscale.
So like they have shows there and stuff like that.
Yeah, I don't know if you can go there and like they actually have like a big
arena,
open arena. Yeah, where you can. I don't know how many animals they have or whatever. I literally don't know anything about it. But driving past it, they have like nice signs. It looks like we're very well kept property. I don't know what they do there, but I always look at it and like, oh, that place looks really nice.
At least they keep it up. Keeps the neighborhood up.
Yeah.
You guys are out. Gilcrease is out here too. You guys ever go to Gilcrease?
Yeah, I do burnouts
ranch
in front of Gilcrease all the time.
Okay. That's probably not what they were hoping for, but
Gilcrease has a nice, because it's, that big open land. They just have a nice straight long road right there.
Right in front.
Yeah.
And it's not very populated there. So
No,
it's not.
if you have to go do a burnout, that might be a decent place to do it.
they actually just painted the front of the big barn or whatever they have there. It looks really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks really good.
Nice.
Well, it's coming into season for them, right? Pumpkins are going to be here pretty quick.
Yeah, I'm always confused about when their season is because there's always people there.
Oh yeah, they have fruits throughout the year. They
Right.
have vegetables throughout the year. You go out there and pick whatever you want that they're growing at the time. But pumpkins is a big,
Right.
like one of their biggest fields is pumpkins, and you go out there and can pick pumpkins for Halloween. I was going to say Thanksgiving, and that was wrong.
They're like Saturday mornings. You don't want to drive past
Gilcrease
because it's just a constant herd of people in and out. You can never cross the road there.
Yep.
Yeah.
But it's a cool place. I mean, the kids would have fun there.
Yeah, I want to take them, I think, for pumpkin season to go get pumpkins because we've never done that since we lived here.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Every
done it a few
every
times.
time we get pumpkins, though, they sit on the porch until about February until they're so
Rotten.
decayed and
You mean kind of like that baseboard that's sitting out there?
exactly just like the
You
baseboard.
can get rid of that. You cut it, put it in a trash can.
I bet
Guy
if-
takes it away.
I bet
He's
if
supposed to put it in our room.
That is no, it's done. You're putting that up anywhere.
the top layer.
No, the bottom layers. I looked at it. It's done.
Really?
Yeah.
It's all done.
All the edges are all peeled off. Yeah.
Yikes!
Yeah. Just cut it up, put it in the trash.
Oh, perfect.
Go get some new.
That sucks.
What a waste.
Yeah, if you go to Cloudland and look on the concrete, I'm sure there's still three beautiful pumpkin rings.
Stained pumpkins.
Yeah, that's true.
We always because you can't pick them up at that point.
Yeah.
You go to pick
Gotta
it
get
up
a
and then
shovel.
it smells like shit and everything. Yeah, you shovel them up.
Yeah. But you should still go do it because your kids. It's not your kids' fault that you guys can't put those pumpkins in.
Correct.
Yeah.
But like she said, this is my dad, by the way.
Oh. Yeah.
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 This is
Whoops.
Todd.
Yeah. I don't know if you noticed, but I did not wear a rigid axle shirt.
You're branding yourself.
No, I think that I think I'm like one of your first guests, right? I know I came after Hudson, but
Yeah.
I think it should be a tradition that when you have a guest, you have to give them a shirt and a hat. It's part of being on the.
That's fine. We can do
podcast.
that.
Oh, yeah, we can do that.
So I like the one that you have on. That's
The flag?
The flag.
The flag?
Yeah. I like it in black, as long
In
as
black.
it's soft.
Okay.
Okay.
I noticed
That's at the shop.
for whatever reason the black.
Not at the shop. I want it now.
Yeah, all of our hats and stuff are there too.
We need to make new hats.
I need a hat because mine's done.
Dunzo.
Yeah, wore out.
So is every hat Jake has, except
know.
for that one.
Yeah, he learned how to wear a hat somewhere. I don't know where.
I don't know if that's why I'm balding or if I'm just balding because I'm balding.
No, that's why you're balding.
Because of my hat?
Yeah,
Oh, really?
absolutely.
Well, he also knows how to keep his cars clean because of no one.
No one?
No, I
Well,
never
maybe-
wash her shit.
Maybe because of your mom. Your mom doesn't keep her cars that clean either.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, it really pisses your grandpa off, by the way. You need to probably work on that.
Did he have somebody come and wash his stuff, or where would he take his stuff? He just used a normal car wash?
No, yeah. So, back then he didn't, we washed him.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, when I was a kid, we get up on Saturday and wash all the cars. But he was very detailed about that kind of stuff. So, but eventually, yeah, he just had a car wash company come and car wash it, do it every week.
Yeah.
I bug him all the time. Can
Well, you
can you call? Can you text?
I got a guy that does a good job. All you
Well,
got to do is text him and he shows up.
Yeah, so do we, but like every week it rains.
Yeah.
Even though we live in Vegas, I don't know what the last 4 months. That's the only
Yeah.
that's the only reason why we haven't had that guy come.
Well, I had to take my car to the car wash after we saw you because I asked him and he's like, "It's supposed to rain." And I'm like, "Our car literally looks like shit."
Yeah, it looked bad.
Well, at some of these car washes now, you can get a membership, right? Like a yearly membership. You can go as many times as you want. Just
Yeah.
run it through, and they're supposed to be
from here, it's only like a 30-minute drive to the nearest car wash.
Yeah,
so.
no, that's your guys' fault. I get that, but
Well, the other problem too is it's hard to find a good car wash place. I actually did find one though, and they towel dry it for you after. But like those are hard to come by in Vegas now. Not a lot of car washes do that anymore.
yeah, mostly they're self-service, drive it through, do
Yeah.
your own thing kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. If you go look at my truck right now, it's really dirty. But it did just rain last week, and I haven't had time to call somebody because I'm not doing it.
Just kidding.
Well, especially
Let me do it right now. Actually, I'm just gonna text the guy right now. So that
out here, I don't know why. The storms are pretty crazy out here.
yeah,
Especially like in this backyard, the wind blows through the backyard this way, and just our Traeger ended up in the pool.
no, I didn't know that.
The
you
Traeger
didn't?
full of pellets, everything.
In the
Grease.
pool.
Blew the full Traeger into the pool.
Oh wow.
So I
Yeah.
came out. That was last summer though. I came out with the Traeger in the pool, and the pool was black. All the pellets, had.
They're 4 times the size. They
It
were
looked like
supposed
one of
to
those YouTube videos Hudson would watch, like with, they fill the pool with all those little beads or whatever.
Yeah.
It was
Let it
disgusting.
fill up.
Yeah.
That's funny.
So-
How long did it take to clean that up? Well, it looks pretty clean now.
It wasn't too bad actually. I thought it was going to be terrible.
Horrible.
I mean, we had a thick film of sludge on all the tile around the top.
Yeah. Grease.
Grease.
So that took a while to come out,
So
but
that had to be hard to get off because you can't get the hot water hot. That's the best way to get the grease off.
yeah.
Yeah.
So that took a while, but other than that, like the vacuum sucked everything up, cleared the water up like within a couple days. It looked fine.
We haven't used the Traeger
And
since.
so
So
you still have the Traeger.
Traeger's,
do. It's over
Traeger's
there.
parked over there. I was so pissed. It was so heavy too. The Traeger's heavy already, but pulling it
which one do you
full
have?
of water.
the one you gave us for our housewarming gift from Cloudland.
What
Yeah.
is that? Like an 865 or something?
I don't know the Traeger stuff.
It's
Are
a
you
nice
still
one.
into your Traeger?
Oh yeah,
You love it?
yeah.
Jake hates it, so it was kind
I
of
really
a
like the Traeger.
Really?
nail in the coffin.
You had an electric one that you
Yeah, you threw that
really
bitch away.
liked. Yeah, that was a worthless.
Oh, it was so nice. I loved that
he
thing.
bitches about that still to this day.
Serious?
Yes.
How did I throw that away? Where were we at? How did
I stupidly brought it to Grandpa's house for
something
and then you guys decided to do freaking spring cleaning one day.
off it went.
Off it
Yep.
went. I came back and like, oh no, I threw that bitch in the trash. And
Well,
was like,
I guess I didn't realize it was yours. I thought it was Grandpa's.
Yeah, because he had 40 other smokers that he
Well, he
had
had
the big green egg
The
and
green egg, yeah. So I've got a Traeger, I've got a green egg, I've got a Blackstone, and then I've got a grill.
so what's your favorite? Top to bottom.
I just do everything. It
Everything
just
has a
depends.
purpose.
Yeah, like depends on what I'm doing. Like if I'm like you can smoke in your green egg, and I don't like it. Like only thing I ever use my green egg for is like real high temperature cooking. I'll do like a
really?
tri-tip on there, get it up to like 500 or 600 or 700 degrees, and then do a tri-tip on it, and that turns out really good. Actually, that's probably the only thing I do on my green egg is if we're doing a tri-tip. Because
Okay.
I like how that comes out. And then
You got let out?
I probably use the Traeger the most.
To do what? Like just slow smoking?
Yeah, briskets and pulled pork and ribs are the 3 things I do the most on it. Whoa.
Good Lord. Here comes B2.
So Hudson's doing a great job of babysitting.
What are you doing?
Hi, B.
Bakley, you need to go upstairs with Hudson. We're in a very important meeting.
Not anymore.
I don't know. I don't think she believed you.
Too bad our viewers can't see her. You want to come say hi? You might as well.
Come on, I'll hold you.
Go get Grandpa.
Here's Blakely B.
Blakely B. Say hi.
Say hi.
Hi.
Say hi right there. Go like this.
You're supposed to be with Hudson.
Chip, lay down.
Yes.
Where is Hudson? You want to go see him? You better run up there and see him.
Go get Hudson and close the door. No? Well. Anyway.
Sorry, you probably hear my phone ringing too.
So I guess we should talk about Driveline Service a little bit.
Yeah.
How that started. I mean, you were around when that started. You were around through all of it.
Well,
I was not.
most all of it.
Yeah.
Actually, I was on my way out here today thinking about whatever happened to drivetrain.com, right? I don't know, like is that still, did somebody buy that from him or?
Yeah. So, Tom, is it Tom from Reno?
Oh, Tom from Reno. That's right.
Tom from Reno bought it
That's right.
and still has it today, I guess. I don't know. I know Bart was helping him for a long time.
Yeah.
Build the site maybe, or I'm not sure.
Well, I think they finally had decided that it was time to convert it from just a
That's
website
right.
to a shopping cart.
That's
where
right. He
people
was doing that.
could buy stuff on it.
Yeah. So I think they built the shopping cart out, and I that's the last I've heard of it. I go on there to see if it's still active and stuff, and it looks like it is. I just don't know if it's
How it's working for him.
if it's rolling for him or not.
I would have to think Tom is retired now, so someone there must have taken it over. I don't
I'm
think
not
he's
sure.
there as much.
I'm not sure. I haven't heard anything about it. I haven't heard from Bart or anything about it either.
Yeah. So Driveline Service, 1974. I think
four?
is when
I always say
Grandpa?
6, but no.
I think it's 74.
She's
is when he
snapping the
actually
shit
opened
out of
it.
your glasses.
That's all right.
Oh, okay. You're
I
good.
have several pair. They're, Walmart
Backup.
specials.
I used to do that with Grandpa all the time. He'd go to CVS, get himself 4 or 5 new pair of glasses.
That's right. They come in a pack of 4, pack of 3. I buy 2 packs.
He'd try all of them on, and I'd sit there and wait for him.
Ironically, I get mine at Lowe's.
Oh,
Believe
really?
it or not, I can't. Yeah, these are the best. They're like really soft and they're
Oh my gosh, that's
almost
funny.
indestructible.
Wow. I
So
would've
yeah,
never
every time I
guessed.
go to Lowe's, I pick up a pack of 3 and throw them in my truck. And yeah,
That's
it's good.
crazy.
They did. When you get old, you gotta have glasses. You
Yeah.
gotta read.
When you have grandkids, you have to have backups.
Yeah. So, started in 1974. Let's see, I would have been, let's see if I can do the math. I'd have been 8 years old. Yeah, when it opened.
So Mac was born in 75, so it was a year before. That's how I'll remember it.
Yeah, year before Mac was born.
Got you. Okay.
Yeah, in fact, I remember, so early on, all of the parts, like you remember, were all in the warehouse back there. But early on, all the parts were on shelves up in front. Like right when you walk in the front door, there were like 3 rows of shelves. And I remember the day Mac was born, I literally was sitting in between the shelves because my dad wasn't there. He was at the hospital, and Dorothy, his secretary, was there at work, and I was just sat between the shelves and didn't really know what to do. And I would have been 9 years old at the time. And
Right.
just kind of hung out, and I don't know. Then, oh, hey, you have a brother. Oh, cool. Or, that's great. I didn't really know what that meant, but
That's funny.
yeah.
And then you said you used to always ride your bike from middle school?
Yeah. Yeah, probably middle school. So middle school back then was 7th, 8th, and 9th. And so, yeah, when I was in middle school, my school was about 25% of the way from my house to where the shop was. It was about a 5-mile different. The shop
Okay.
to the house was about 5 miles.
Okay.
And so, yeah, every day after school, I'd ride my bike to the shop and work. And then my dad would give me a ride home after work.
What would he have you do?
Clean the toilets, mostly. Sweep up. Like I would get there in time to like start cleaning the shop and like he was very detailed about his cars. Same thing with the shop. Like every day at the end of the day, everything had to be cleaned out. It had to be swept. It had to be blown out. All the stuff had to be put away.
Right.
So
You'd help with that at the end of the day.
that was what I did. Yeah, I'd get there in time to take out the trash and take out the metal to the metal bin and
Got you.
clean up all the grinds and all that kind of stuff.
So when he first started, didn't he have one side of the building? Or
Yeah,
was
so
he
when-
in both?
No, when he started, it was just one side, and in the backyard there was a fence that went between
Oh, really?
that blocked the backyard off. So it was half of the backyard and the building on the left side.
Okay.
And then he took over the building on the right side, and we cut that fence out, so they had the whole backyard. And then eventually he added that building in the very back.
Oh, so that building wasn't there.
No, that building was added in somewhere in the 90s, I believe.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So
Yeah, like where the race car shed was.
Yeah.
auto gear was out there. Yeah, that wasn't there originally.
Okay. So I guess for people who don't know, you can look it up on Google Maps, 3850 and 3852.
Yeah, I
Pioneer Avenue?
I think it's just 3850. Like
Oh, they combine them?
3852 has gone away. I can't find it.
Okay.
You mail something there, it comes back. Like I sent
Okay.
something because Joe has it now, so
Right.
I sent something there to 3852 because that's the address I always
Well,
used.
the same with me. It always freaked me out that Joe always used 3850 because I was like, no, don't do that.
Yeah.
That's ass backwards.
It's the wrong address.
You have to use 3852 if you're gonna be here.
Yeah. So it's 3850.
Okay.
3850 Pioneer Avenue. Yeah.
89102.
Yeah. 89102.
Right.
Right next to Channel 13.
Yes.
Yeah.
You guys used to fire up the dragster at 5:00 news,
Yeah. Right when the news would come on. Grandpa
so
would
everybody be watching
intentionally-
TV and it would all the shit in the studio would just be jiggling.
and they could actually hear it on the, yeah, back when we, yeah, that's actually funny. Grandpa would do that on purpose. So we had
He's
a
like,
little,
5:00, we gotta go out.
yeah, we got to let's go start the dragster to see what happens.
Hurry, put some fuel in it.
Yeah. So we had a little 102-inch. Actually, it was old Shirley Muldowney. I don't know if you knew who that is. She's like a real famous first woman NHRA actual drag racer ever. So Grandpa bought one of her chassis from her, and we
cool.
built a little rear engine blown on alcohol small block dragster that was pretty loud.
Yeah.
And so we'd push it out of the race car shed, which was like, when I say next to Channel 13, it was within 20 feet of the Channel 13 building, and right where it was in their building was where their actual new studio
really?
was. So he'd pull it out there and fire it up, and right when the 5:00 news would come on, and they'd come running out of the building and ask him to shut it off, and he'd be like, "I can't hear you.
I can see him doing that too.
I can't hear you. I don't. Well,
sorry,
what? Is
what?
that? Hold on." So yeah, he's pissed those guys off more than once. They're still there. That building's doubled in size. And,
Right.
Yeah, that's still there.
That was his plan the whole time. He's going to sell that building to Channel 13 because, I mean, they did the whole time. They just kept expanding,
Yeah.
building out. I mean, it's as big as it can get, right?
Yeah, they bought a lot next door, built on that.
Right.
Actually, where that building used to be an equipment rental yard. So
Oh, really?
when Driveline Service very first started, Joe Blystone was his name, was called Blystone Equipment, owned that whole corner, Pioneer and Valley View, was an equipment yard. He rented out forklifts and any kind of equipment, like rental, like Ahern nowadays.
Right.
And he passed, and his daughter Joanne took it over, and eventually just sold that piece of land off, and Channel 13 built their building there.
Gotcha.
So it wasn't even Channel 13 to start with.
Okay. And then I guess you started working there full time after high school, or no?
Well, I mean, yeah, full time, 40-hour week. Yeah,
Right.
after high school for sure. But I worked there all through high school. I mean, I worked there every day after school from middle school on.
Right.
Worked on Saturdays because we're open half day on Saturdays.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
How long did you do that for?
Till I was 30.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it was.
Did you guys get a lot of business in the morning on Saturdays?
Yes.
Because people would break their shit Friday night?
No, because people would plan projects, and they'd come in Saturday morning, and they'd call and say, "Hey, I got to get this done on Saturday. I'll bring it in." And so yeah, we'd be pretty busy on most Saturdays.
And you guys were doing it was just mostly like driveline stuff at that point?
Yeah, well,
Because you didn't have,
there was Driveline Service, there was Auto Gear Service.
okay.
Grandpa originally was an equal part owner in Auto Gear Service with a guy named Danny.
Right.
And then that partnership broke up. We kept Auto Gear there, and we did some gear stuff and some transfer case stuff on the weekends. Not as much though, because that's a little bit bigger project. Drive shafts you can build.
Get in, get out.
An hour,
Right.
45 minutes. You can do whatever you need to do to a drive shaft. So we would do a lot of drive shaft stuff. Probably very little auto gear stuff. Not a lot of drivetrain stuff.
And then the drivetrain stuff started more when he built that shop in the back. Well, when he had a bunch of lifts and stuff.
Yeah, it was. I guess it was doing really well. That's that's why they had to build the building in the back. It was either find another space and for many years, Grandpa rented that building from Joanne Blystone. It wasn't something that he owned.
Oh, okay.
I don't remember what year he bought it, but he actually, what happened is she paid to build the building in the back. And then when that was done, I think that's when he actually purchased the entire property from her.
Okay.
So he didn't own it the whole time he was there. He rented it for quite a long time.
Right. You said that was sometime in the 90s?
Yeah, it seems like it was mid to late 90s, 96, 97, something like that is when he actually purchased it.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool. And then he put all those lifts in there and then started doing more, more of the auto gear stuff. Yeah,
we had, the driveline shop, and then you had the gear shop, and yeah, they were both just busy every day.
Right.
I mean, my hate for the telephone comes from working there. Like, people are always like, why don't you call me? And I'm like, I hate talking on the phone. That literally is not my thing, because that was my job. Once I graduated high school, once I went away to college for a little bit and came back and kind of got really involved in the business full time, that was my job. I was the customer service. I answered the phones. I helped customers at the front counter. That's really what I was doing the most of. And
okay.
I don't know if you know, but when your car breaks down, you're never in a good mood.
No.
So when anybody...
And it's got to get fixed now.
Yeah, and it's always too expensive.
Right.
Like, so you didn't do it fast enough. It cost way too much money. And, and so every time the phone would ring, it was somebody who was pissed off about something.
Right.
And, 95% of the time wasn't anything we did. It was just... So every call I would take, and I mean, I can hear Dorothy's voice in my sleep. Tod line one, over the intercom.
Right.
Just there were six lines on the phone system, and at any given time there was at least 3 of them lit up.
Really?
Yeah. So somebody could have sat at a desk and just answered the phones all day, but I had to run other things as well, so I just couldn't sit still that long.
Yeah, I mean, it goes to show why he was so the way he was. Like, I got to make the phones ring. Because, when I started in the business, that was his.
Yep.
I got to, with this website, I got to make the phones ring. Nonstop.
Yeah.
So it's funny, like, obviously that whole thing has transitioned from, obviously you still want the phone to ring.
No, you want people to buy stuff on your website.
Yeah, of course. Like, you want to provide the customer with the best experience on the website, so they don't have to call you.
Right.
Because they don't want to call you.
Yeah. They don't want to talk on the phone either.
You don't want to call somebody. You just want to be like, okay, this is exactly what I need. Boom, yep. I can have it here in a couple days. So it's funny, like, in that, all of us try to have that conversation with them a million times, right?
What you don't even know.
No, I know.
So his brother Bart came into the business right at some point.
Right.
And that was Bart's mantra, was he worked on the website, and the only thing he would say every day, all day, was, we got to make the phones ring. And I'm like, no, we don't need to make the phones ring. We need to make it so they can buy it online. They don't. We don't need to talk to every single person that needs to buy something.
Right.
Let's just put a shopping cart online. And we fought over that. Not fought. I mean, physically fought, but it was an ongoing conversation, heated conversation too, because Bart was so,
I know websites, and this is how it is. This is how it works.
It's kind of funny. So I was in the website business for a while, right? I wasn't a webmaster, but I did some web design and some stuff. And so I went to school to learn how to do HTML coding. Mm-hmm. This is how long ago? This is a long time ago. And guess who was in that same class with me? Bart.
Okay.
He was trying to learn how to do coding and how to get the websites to do. This was before websites, you could communicate back and forth. They were more of like an animated picture online,
right?
Where you could put stuff on there so people could see it, which would then cause people to call you because they seen what you had online and they needed to buy that.
Right.
And then the shopping cart thing came along, and I tried. I mean, ultimately, probably the tension from that is what caused me to actually leave the shop. I couldn't get my father to get off of we got to make the phones ring. And I'm like, that's not the way of the future. We need to make people buy stuff online. So,
yeah, 100%.
So yeah, it was a big fight. And I mean, imagine what drivetrain.com could be today.
Oh, I know.
If
Yeah.
25 years ago, he would have gone with what the public wanted rather
Right.
than making the phones ring. But yeah, making the phones ring was, and I mean, to be clear, in the 70s and 80s,
That's how it was.
that was the thing.
Right.
I mean, if you could make your phone ring, you could be very successful because that was the only option. Like you couldn't buy something any other way. You had to go drive down and show up and
Right.
have a conversation. So yeah, that was a challenge for sure. Make the phones ring. And I hate the phone to this day. And it's kind of odd because of what I do for a living now.
Right.
Guess what? I have to talk on the phone sometimes. And,
You talk on the phone a lot, don't you?
oh my gosh.
I mean, compared to like,
One time a day is a lot to me, but
yeah, if I get a call
I mean,
once a week, I'm like,
what have we been here like an hour? My phone's rang like 14 times.
right.
So
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's crazy. But it is what it is.
I always die laughing how you talk on the phone because I'm like, how does Todd do this for a living? And that's how he talks on the phone.
Yeah.
I mean, I tell people all the time. So I coach a lot of other agents. I'm a broker, so I have 260 agents that I'm sort of I don't know, not the boss because they're independent contractors, but when there's a problem or they need help or something, I get to help them.
Right.
And I tell all of them, look, text me. Send me a text. Don't
Right.
call me. Send me a text first. And then we'll figure out whether we need to actually jump on a phone call. But, you don't need to call me for me to go yes or no. I can do that on a text. So I try to train people to text me, but still
Some
call me
people
up.
they just have to talk on the phone.
And it's okay. I deal with it. But I don't like it, but
Well, that's where he gets it from because, Holly's the best because
No,
his mom.
she's the worst
because
about
she'll
talking on the phone.
She'll
She loves to
text
talk.
us and then immediately call us right
she
after
will.
she sends
she
it.
warned you. I'm going
we-
to call.
If we I'll tell her, she's like, hey, you should text your mom, whatever. I'm like, okay, but she's going to call, right?
I've learned now. I'm like, you might as well just call her instead of text her because she's just
She's
going to
going to
call.
read the text and call you.
We literally say it before.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to hit send and watch this. Watch how fast the phone call comes through, or watch how fast we get a text back. And then as soon as that text comes through, she calls immediately.
That's funny.
It's crazy.
Well, she's in sales. She's in sales.
Yeah, exactly.
I
mean,
she's the same way.
She
Like,
sold food for years.
Right.
Still does, probably, right?
yep.
Yep.
So
And,
she's on the phone. That's her thing.
Yeah.
She talks to people over the phone, and
Yeah, so this is probably something you don't know, but when we were married, that was right when cell phones came out. Like we were married and cell phones didn't exist, and then they did exist. And I remember the first time I came home, I stopped on the way home from work and bought a cell phone, and that was like crazy. People didn't own cell phones. Like you don't need a cell phone. This is the don't do this. So I stopped on the way home with my cousin Robert. It was a buy one get one half off kind of thing. So
Nice.
he wanted one, I wanted one, so we both went and bought them. I remember when I brought it home, it didn't go well. It was not pleasant. But ultimately, when she had one and she could then do her sales remotely or on the move, I think it really helped out. So
it's funny how natural that is for people. The new thing is the enemy, right? Nobody likes to change.
nobody likes change. Yeah, change
So
is tragic.
I mean, just like with the website thing, the whole anything that's new is like, no, I don't want any part of that.
Yeah.
I already have
Yeah.
enough going on. I don't need to learn that too.
Yeah, I don't. We had that conversation earlier about YouTube, right? Trying to
all of the
build a
different-
YouTube channel, and I resisted it for I don't know how long, a couple of years now,
Yeah.
and I just can't. I don't want to do it because I know what it means moving forward.
Yeah,
it's
a
a constant.
whole other job on your shoulders.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
And it
same thing
is.
when we started Rigid Axle. I was like, hell no, I don't want to, because my family owns a business and I know how much goes into it. I mean, it's your whole life.
It's your whole life. There's nothing else that goes on that doesn't revolve around whatever your business is. If you're an entrepreneur and you're doing your own thing, yeah, absolutely. Your whole world revolves around whatever that is.
Yeah.
Same in my business, same in your guys' business, same with Driveline Service, same with the pizza place that your grandparents or maybe your parents now. I don't remember how that was,
Grandparents, yeah.
but I mean, there's every day revolves around getting there, getting started, getting it done. And then if you have time to do other stuff, you have time. But if you don't, change is tough because you get a good routine going.
Yeah, and it's like the people who win are the people who jump on all the new stuff right away and learn it, figure out how to do it, and do it to the fullest. They're the ones who take off.
Yeah, the early adopters.
Yeah, it's like, we got to learn to do that, obviously. Whatever. I mean, like TikTok, if we would have started TikTok 2 years ago,
yeah,
you know,
you'd be famous.
Yeah.
And if famous
something would have taken off.
If famous is what you're looking for, you could be famous.
Right. Is famous what we're looking for?
No.
I mean, that's my challenge, right? I mean, your sisters every day, Dad, let me record you and put you on TikTok.
Yeah.
You'd go viral. And I'm like, I don't want to be on TikTok. I don't know. I mean, I don't really know what that means. And I don't know what that does for me. And I don't know what the value in that is. But like, I don't really want to be on TikTok, right?
Yeah.
In my era, in my time, people are, there's a thing on TikTok. I do watch TikTok, by the way.
Yeah, I know you do.
Yeah, a little bit. I think it's funny. There's some funny
there's
shit
some
on
good
there.
shit on
I'm
there.
sorry. There's some funny stuff on there.
And it's one of those things too where even if you try not to watch it, once you watch one, you're going to scroll to two, and then two's going to turn into, okay, I've been sitting on the shitter for 40 minutes now.
You get sucked in.
I got to wipe now.
Yeah.
It's hard.
Yeah. I try not to go in the bathroom with it because that's exactly what happens.
I know.
But so, I mean, I see people on there now. There's one called, I don't know, something about your teenage years or something, and they're posting bad pictures of things they did in their teenage years. And then people in my era are posting, well, there's no record of what happened in my era, so I can't post it. Trust me, that's a good thing. That's not a bad thing.
Yeah.
So
It's only in memory.
yeah, it's just a memory. It's not recorded anywhere.
No, yeah, there's some great stuff on TikTok.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a good platform.
And it's a good way to grow your business.
Yeah, 100%.
I think it's a good way to get your name out there and get your brand loyalty going.
Yeah, I mean, there's one video on. So you know how we've been doing those kit videos, those shorts.
Yeah.
There's one of those that we did on TikTok, like a year ago,
Yeah.
something like that. How many views does it have?
I don't even remember now.
I mean, like 80,000 views or something like that. It like took off, and it's like, why would that one take off? But I mean, it's
weird,
great.
huh?
Yeah,
It's so weird.
it's cool because there's tons of comments on it. Like a lot of people saw it. You don't know what piece of content is gonna do that, but as long as you're consistent and you keep doing it.
Well, do you
Something
engage in the comments?
Yeah,
Like, do you respond back? And
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
that's a whole other part of doing this whole YouTube.
No, it's a
social-
full time.
You got to have someone that can respond to all those comments and answer the questions and deal with the haters. And
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's always a challenge. I mean, there's always, I don't know, someone just being mean just to be mean.
Yeah,
Got
of
nothing
course.
better to do.
yeah. I mean, we've had a couple guys like on our Jeep videos who have gotten a lot of views. Just hate for it's just the funniest thing. Like, oh my gosh, you got to come listen to come read what this guy said.
Yeah.
It's just the dumbest shit.
They're just mad because they don't have a white Jeep with 40s on it.
Exactly.
So they gotta hate on it because they don't have that.
Exactly. They weren't there that day, so
Yeah.
they're pissed off.
Yeah.
That's all right.
I do miss our Jeep group, but we did have a video on TikTok. Like it was when we first started really getting into TikTok, like watching TikTok. And there just happened to be this video of this guy. His truck was like broke down on the side of the road and his wife had to go save him. And so it was her videoing like to go save him. And shit you not, here's our sticker
Oh, really?
on the back of his truck,
Yeah,
rigid
she pulls
axle.
up and rigid axle's all on the back
And I'm
window.
all, honey, look.
Oh, that's
It was
not good.
crazy.
It was good because I commented and I was like, but how's the transfer case holding up? Because his whatever was broken down
Wasn't
hadn't
the
anything
transfer-
to do with us. And he was like, transfer case is going great or whatever. So it was funny.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool.
It was just a random. We
It
were
was
just scrolling
so
Saturday
random.
morning and it was just there. It was
Wow.
cool.
That is cool.
And it actually had a lot of views on it too. Like it was a pretty popular.
So is there a way for you guys like to piggyback on that? And besides commenting, can you share?
I don't know
You should duet it. That's what you should be doing. You should
Duet.
be duetting
That's
that.
right.
Yeah.
That
Yeah, that's what we should have done instead of commenting. We should have commented, but also done that.
you still can.
Yeah.
Go find it and duet it.
That's true.
I mean, that'll put more views on his thing, and
Yeah.
people will see it. Come back on top.
Right.
Yeah.
I haven't duetted anything before, but
We haven't either.
I might have to.
Yeah, there's a lot going into, like you said, it's a full-time gig doing all of, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, all of that stuff,
Yeah.
but it's a must right now. You gotta do it.
Well, I think I think, as I thought about with my business, I thought about doing it. It's, again, the same argument I had with Grandpa and Bart for so many years. This is the way that you're going to make money in the future, and you need to do this. And here I am doing exactly the same thing they were doing. And I was just like, this is stupid. I need to embrace this. It's the wave of the future. It's the way you're going to stay in front of people. It's the way people are going to find me. And, I need to do it. So
Yeah.
now I'm obsessed, literally obsessed.
It's hard.
It pisses me off.
It's hard to I don't like people, I have that thing about me where I'm not a people person. I don't like people very much, but it's like today.
I wonder where you got that from.
Yeah,
I know.
for real.
You have to be, I feel like you have to be known, or like it makes your business and life so much easier if people know you. So like I've heard people say like, it's not who you know, it's who knows you.
Yeah.
And like in this social media world that we live in right now, that's 100% true.
Well, you realize that that's changed though, because in the 2000s, in the 1990s, it was who you knew.
Right.
It wasn't
and then it's
who knew you.
to
Right. It was who I knew.
Right.
That could get me what we needed. Right. Back when Grandpa was running his business, it was, he knew all of the people who owned all the cement company trucks and all the semi trucks in town and all the people who needed work done on trucks. He knew the owners of those companies.
Right.
And that's what made his company. It was who he knew that made his company thrive. Today, it isn't that. It's who knows you.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's the only way to get there is through content. It's letting people know who you are,
Yeah. And as soon as we started doing this, I even made that comment to him. I'm like, well, you got to open up and be like the person I know and not clam up and be this like rock hard shell because people aren't going to like engage with you.
Are you saying he can't give people the perception that he's just an asshole?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like it's just one thing when the camera's rolling, I just like, and it's just like, you have to learn to.
Yeah, but he can be funny.
Way. I can.
Yes.
Oh, thanks.
You have like a great personality, but
you should save that one so you could use that.
That's the short.
Later.
That's the short. Let me put
Wasn't
a marker
that
on
funny?
that.
That was funny, right? Yeah, no, I mean, unfortunately, you learned that from your grandpa and from me, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we were both the same way. We didn't love people in the sense of we didn't love to carry on long, detailed, touchy-feely, lovey kind of conversations, right?
Right.
But we're probably the most loyal people you'll know because when you know us or we know you, we got your back. There's never going to be a question of whether we're going to be there when you need us kind of thing. So it's just a personality thing. That's all it is. And I'm kind of the same way. I don't love people. Look,
You're
business.
in the people business.
I'm in the people business. I'm in a relationship-based business, right? If I don't have relationships, I don't have a business. And so, yeah, I've had to, for the last, 17 or 18 years now, I've had to kind of figure out how to stop being the complete asshole all the time and start getting into relationships with people. And I'm getting a little better at it. I'm not great, but I'm getting a little better.
Yeah, I know. It's, you gotta learn. I mean, it's just a growing thing, right?
Yeah. But I will tell you this also. I believe that people do business with people they like. Mm-hmm. And so there's people out there just like us. There's people out there just like Sam because their personality is totally different than ours. And they'll do business with both of you because of your situation in
dynamic,
life. Yeah, the dynamic, your family dynamic, your kids, your it's okay. I don't do business with people that don't like, the ones who call me the asshole, right? I just don't do business with them. But the ones that get who I am and understand how I operate, I do. And it's okay. There's plenty of people out there to do business with.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, agreed.
There's always going to be people who don't like you for reasons that don't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Right.
Whether you like somebody or don't like somebody, it doesn't even matter. That's not something in life that you should spend a bunch of time working on because it just causes problems anyway. Yeah. On both sides.
Yeah, agreed. How about I just thought about this, like what you should talk about some of the vehicles that you had, or like, I know you're looking for
I'm looking for a 1972
because of the 4-wheel drive truck Grandpa had.
Yeah. So Grandpa had a 1972 Chevy short bed 4-wheel drive single cab. Obviously, they were all single cab back then. K10 C10, I think then.
C10 two-wheel drive, K10 four-wheel drive.
Okay. So the 4-wheel drive, it was on 35, the Dick CPEC 35s on it. Had a turbocharged small block 400 in it. It was the shit when he had it. I would have been in, would have been in 80, like right around 1980, 81 ish. And, it was going to be my truck. Like when I turned 16, that's what I was going to get to drive. And, like, I'm telling you, it was one of the very nicest trucks in town. And, I was excited to drive it. And about 6 months before I turned 16, he sold it.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, my hell.
Yeah, he sold it. Now, I don't know that he knew that that was the truck I was going to drive, but in my mind,
In your head, yeah.
that
you
was
had,
I was
can't wait.
That was going to be mine.
Right.
And he sold it. And so now Grandpa's passed, and so one of the things I would like to do is find one that I can restore back to what he had.
Yeah.
So I think that'd be fun to do.
Hell yeah, it'd be fun to do. Small block 400 and all of that too.
Yep, turbocharged. So Grandpa was in the diesel business for a long time, and he was a turbo guy. That's what kind of his specialty in that business was a turbo guy. So
Yeah.
it was literally the only half-ton Chevy truck in this town anyway that had a turbo on it. I know you have a truck that's got a turbo on it.
Yeah.
Where is it? I haven't seen it in years.
It's sitting at the shop.
Is it?
Yeah.
We're waiting for it to become a classic vehicle.
Isn't it classic already? What year is it? 92?
It's a 2003.
2003.
So next year I can register it as a classic vehicle.
Classic. Then you don't have to worry about all the smog stuff. and all
Yeah.
that
Yeah,
stuff.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's
but
a lot of
that's got a
that's got a small block. It's just a 4.8 though. It's the smallest, fuel
but
injected.
it started out life as a straight 6.
It started out, that's gone through many variations.
Yeah, yeah. You trashed it at college one time.
Yep, I rolled it over in the snow.
Yeah.
It started out with a V6 and a 5-speed, and then I had that. I remember sitting with all you guys at Wingstop. Remember that day?
Yep. Spring Mountain Road.
Yep, we were sitting at Wingstop, and I was like, I think I want to build a motor for my truck. Would you guys help me do that? And so everybody was like, yeah. We started in Grandpa's garage, built that 383.
Yep.
And he was not about that at that time. He was, at that stage where he wanted to go to work, go home, watch Jay Leno or some shit, go to bed, right?
A little burned out, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And so I knew that, but I
mean,
remember
burned out because let's be clear, when we had the race car, we would go to work.
I'm sure it was
day after work, and we wouldn't go home until 10 or 11 o'clock at night. We worked on the race car every night. That was what was fun about what we did.
Yeah, I wish I was around for that because I would have eaten that shit up.
That was great. One of the coolest things that I've ever done with Grandpa actually was
I bet
built this really nice, and then I got to drive it.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah,
that'd be fun. Cool. We built a 383 in the garage that I think it was through the winter. And I remember I got the block. I literally knew shit about nothing, right? Like I knew how to put the key in the ignition, start the truck, and that was it. I had just gotten my driver's license. Well, no, I drove the truck that way for, I don't know, maybe a year. I think we started building that when I was like 17.
Yeah. You drove that truck through high school. Did it have the V8 in it when you took it to college?
Yeah. So we put the V8 in it my senior year.
Okay.
So I drove that truck with a V6 in it for a year, and then started building that motor. I remember, like, I went out to, I think it was like Low C and 215 and bought a block that off of Craigslist or something. Like, literally had no idea what I was looking at. Nobody went out there with me. The guy helped me put it in the truck. He's like, this block is new. It's good. It's fresh. It's good to go. And I'm like, okay, cool. I don't know what I'm looking at. Took it from there to Grandpa's house. Grandpa looks at it and he's like, this is a piece of shit. Why'd you buy this? And I'm like, I told you, I literally have no idea what I'm looking at.
Take it down to Universal and get them to fix it.
Yeah, he's like, this has been run. Like, you can tell the cylinder walls.
Wore the hell out.
Yeah. And I was like, no, the guy said it was just machined. And he's like, no, we gotta fix this up. So he called the guy on Craigslist and talked to him like, okay, this obviously isn't new. You know, just let me know what have you done?
Yeah.
Is it bored out already? All that stuff. So I think it had been, the cylinders have been bored out already. We had to bore it out even more. I think like 40 thousandths over when typically like 30 thousandths is the max, right?
Yeah.
And he just helped me.
That was Grandpa. Yeah, just do it. We'll worry about it if it does. We'll fix it. It's fine. Do it.
Yeah, who cares about I was 17
10
years old.
Yeah, no big deal. No big deal.
I was 17 years old. I don't have any money, obviously. I was working at the shop. So I just paid like $400 for this piece of shit hunk of metal. And he's like, this thing is garbage. Like, but no, just keep it. We'll use it or whatever.
We'll fix it.
Okay, fine. So yeah, I'll go dump a bunch of money at the machine shop. I think I took it to Jack's machine shop and he did everything to it. And then we built that. I remember the first night, like I got it back from the machine shop. I put it on the stand in the garage and I could tell he did not. He was like upset I was over there. He did not want to do, not like, of course, Grandpa, like he'll help you with anything.
Oh yeah.
But
it
you
wasn't
could tell
what he
like,
wanted to do.
All right. Yeah. Like, let me get out of my chair. And then we he showed me how to, didn't really teach me anything. He just basically put the crank in real quick as fast as he could. Like, that's how you put a crank in. Okay, cool. So
that's how Grandpa taught you.
Yeah, exactly.
Same with me. I mean,
I just kind of like watched and
there was no explaining of this is how this. You just watch him do it, and that's how you would learn. Yeah, that's the same way I learned how to build drive shafts.
We torqued the caps on and everything, and he spun it, and he's like, "See how it's spinning, real? Like, it's good. Let's go. Let's run it." And then, like later down the road, I'm very like OCD about stuff. Like, I like to know exactly I like if I were to do it over again, right?
Why?
Yeah, I'd want to measure the cap. I would want to measure the bearings, all the clearances. Like I want to know every single one is good. And I don't know if that was just an old school thing or what, but
he put a lot of motors together in his life.
Yeah,
and when we built the motor that we had in the dragster that we used primarily, I remember the day that actually showed up at the shop. It was a small block 388. Small block aluminum Donovan motor.
Okay.
And I remember when that hunk of metal showed up, the dude was just flying on cloud nine. I was young. I didn't really, I was like, yeah, that's cool. It's all aluminum. Like I didn't really understand.
Yeah. They didn't have aluminum blocks back then.
Right. Yeah. It was like a one of a kind.
Right.
And, so, that motor, when we put that motor together, we measured we recorded, we knew everything that there was to know about it because it was going to be a high horsepower, high RPM motor. And,
right.
He's looking at years ago and you're a 17-year-old kid. He probably switched out motors in his cars 2 or 3 times a year.
Yeah.
Right. When he was a kid. So, yeah.
No, I know. It's funny looking back on because obviously that motor that we put together had way more horsepower, could have ran way better. But again, I was 17. He knew that. Yeah. So yeah, I mean,
do you know about the yellow S10?
Max S10?
Yeah.
So yeah, I heard a little bit about that when we were working on that project because he basically didn't he put a 383 in that S10?
Yeah, a little S10 Blazer had a 4-cylinder motor in it. We pulled that out and put a 383 small block in it.
Right.
And my brother has pictures of him wheeling it down the street. So when he was a senior in high school.
So Mac ruined that for me.
Oh yeah, he ruined it for you 100%. He's like, yeah, we can't get Jake in the same position because now it's his grandson, not his son, right? So yeah.
Yeah, so we put the 383 in. I put a Turbo 400 in it, which was funny because everything about all of that setup is from Grandpa's era.
Yep.
Turbo 400, like
not a 4LADE.
Right. Everything is electrical these days, right? Everything has a computer to run everything. He knew nothing about that stuff. So we put in an 03 truck, we put a, old school carbureted motor with an old school Turbo 400 in it. And so I had a YouTube channel at that time where I was just taking video of like the progress or like of a 383 running because nobody had that.
Right.
And the comments were, what the hell? This is so ass backwards. Like, why are you, like, you have a 2003 truck and you put a carburetor on it? Like, what the hell are you doing?
Haters.
Yeah. So I didn't know. Like, I just thought, oh, when you build a motor, that's how it goes. Right. But yeah, then I got into all the LS stuff. And so we took that, I think I ran that 383 in there for a couple of years. It was up there through college. I rolled it. And then I think after it got back from the machine shop, I started working, or the body shop. I started working on that LS motor that I built for it.
Yeah, with the turbo on it.
That one was just the naturally aspirated 408. And that thing ran really good. But then Mac told me to do a burnout at the stoplight at the stop sign right up the street from the shop. What was it, Win?
Yeah.
Yeah, Win and he was like,
Pioneer.
Win and Pioneer. He's like, hey, do a burnout. So I was like, all right. So I did it. I remember scaring the shit out of Grandpa at that stop sign too. I got so sideways and I could see him tense up. I think about that moment all the time because I'm like, when I got the vet and I took it over to show him, I wanted to have that same last experience. Like
you'd have killed him.
I know.
He died right there in the seat.
He said, no, I don't think I want to go for a ride. And I was like, that's a very good choice that you made because I would have scared the shit out of you somehow.
So I did that to him once. When I bought a brand new '84 IROC off the showroom floor, and first thing I did too is I took it to the shop and I put 456 gears in the rear of it. It came with 273s, right?
Yeah.
So I put a 456 gears in it. Oh yeah, put a little wider tire on the back of it, and I put a gear vendor overdrive in it.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, so it was a 4L60E trans, overdrive trans with a gear vendor overdrive on the backside of that. And needless to say, just a factory car, but with 456s in it, it ran really good.
Yeah, blew the tires off whenever you wanted.
So I pulled it. He was in the passenger seat one day and we were going to lunch, which we did every day, right?
Yeah, that's when I scared the shit out of him too. We were on our way to lunch.
On our way to lunch. And pulled out onto Valley View, turning left, going north, and just kind of got into the turn lane to drift over into the lane I was going to travel in, and I just throttled it and spun the tires all the way through Desert Inn. And as we went through Desert Inn, we were not completely sideways, we were probably 45 degrees sideways. And he looked at me and he said, "Did you ever do that to me again?" What the hell was that all about? I'm like, I don't know. It just seemed like it might be fun. Don't you ever do that to me again.
It's one thing when you're in the passenger seat, man. When you have, I don't know if it's a control thing, but you're just along for the ride.
No idea what's going to happen.
Yeah.
I have those moments in our regular car. I'm hoping he'll press on the brake or something.
Have you seen?
You're over there pumping the brake on the passenger side.
Yeah, I can see her foot.
Well, when you do that, he waits a little bit longer, just so you know. Like when he sees you start going, he's like, "All right, I can drive. I'll show you."
It's probably TikTok now. I don't know. There's a video where a guy pulls up and he's like, "Oh, this guy wants to race," and his wife's like, "No, he does not want to race." And they're just fighting like, "Oh no, he wants to race for sure. I can tell. Look at him." And I always think like, "Oh my gosh, that's so funny." That's
every couple.
Yeah.
Every couple. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. He does it all the time. He's always like, "Are you ready? We're going to race them." And I'm like, what the hell?
Paula will not even get in the car with me when it's raining because she knows that we're sideways around every single corner. I turn the traction control off. I mean, it's just, that's my time to go have a little fun.
So do you wait also till you're like running on fumes with the gas?
No.
Okay. He does that and it bugs the hell out of me.
I'm quarter tank and I go fill it up. Although right now in my life, when I go to my office, I drive right past the gas station. It's super easy to pull in, fuel up and leave. So,
okay.
I mean, I'm not saying I haven't at times let it get a little low, but
I'm pretty sure I've run out of gas with you multiples of times.
I don't think so.
I think we ran out of gas in your white truck that Jared bought.
Oh, that's possible. Oh. That didn't have a gas gauge.
Well, that makes more sense then.
That doesn't have a gas gauge. That was a cool truck though.
That was a cool truck.
75 or 77.
Was it 4-wheel drive?
Chevy 4-wheel drive, yeah. Shore bed, kind of just like the 72, but it was a square body.
Yeah.
And that had took it all apart, frame off. I took all the half-ton drivetrain stuff. I had Dana 44 in the front and a 10 bolt in the rear, and I took all those out. Put a 14 bolt rear end, a single axle 14 bolt with disc brakes in the rear.
I didn't know you did all that to it.
Yeah, Dana 60 in the front.
Wow.
Pretty sure it had a 203 transfer case in it. When I got it, I took that out, had a turbo 350 trans, took that out, put a 4L60E in it with a 205 transfer case, which, by the way, when I did that didn't exist. The adapter didn't exist. And so I had to custom make an adapter to make the transmission and transfer case marry up. That was a cool ass truck.
Yeah, I didn't know that you did all that to it. That's cool.
Little looked like a little Tonka truck. It was real short and real tall.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a fun truck to drive. And then we didn't even know this, but when I sold it, somebody you guys know bought it, but we didn't know that's how that went.
Yeah, her uncle bought it from you.
Oh, it was your uncle. That's right. He was mad as hell at me. I remember I got a call from him maybe 2 or 3 months after he bought it because the transmission blew up in it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and he may have accused me of knowing there was something wrong with the transmission. And I'm like, I had no idea there was something wrong with the transmission. But bring it. We'll figure out how to try to help you get it fixed. I never heard from him again, but that was a fun truck though too. Like that thing had a lot of horsepower.
Really?
Yeah, it had 456 gears in it as well. I mean, it was real low geared. It was fun.
Yeah, I wonder what happened to that truck.
Yeah, I don't know.
If he still has it, I'd buy it back.
He definitely doesn't have it.
I don't think they have it anymore. I know his mom has a little white truck, but I don't think it's the same one.
No.
Yeah, I mean, this was, it's pretty common now, right? You see everybody on TV now, they're doing all these big conversions, but it wasn't common to have a half-ton truck with 8 lug wheels,
right?
And half-ton, rear disc brakes, and I had to machine adapters and all kind of stuff to get the kind of stuff to work. But that was a fun truck. I'd take that truck back in a heartbeat. I think most of the vehicles I've ever owned, I'd take back.
Yeah.
I had when I very first turned 16, actually 15 and a half, I bought a 1969 Volkswagen Baja. It was bright orange. And every day I would walk past this guy's house when I went to school, and then we'd drive past it all the time because he lived right by our house. And he had built this in his driveway. And I just kind of watched it start as nothing. And then I noticed that he was working on it. And that was a fun little thing. I tore up every desert in this town. There's a little place used to be called Gray Hole. It was a desert that had this really deep hole. And man, we used to just get going, ditch school and get as fast as we could and drive it through Gray Hole. And we had a lot of fun on that. I blew the rear end up in that one time doing a burnout around the corner and slammed it into the curb.
Oh,
broke the ring and pinion in it. Geez. So that was fun. I take that back just because it was a fun car. And the car I had after that was a 77 Z28 Camaro. Unique about that car is they only made 2,500 of them. So in 1975, they made a Z28, but no Z28s in 76, and they put a limited edition number of Z28s out in 77.
What color was that car?
Just dark brown, metallic brown with gold trim. The way you can tell it is the 77s is the only year where the front and rear bumper were steel, but they were color coded to the car.
Oh, okay.
75, they were chrome, and before that they were chrome, but 77s, they were color coded to the car. Not very many of them out there had T-tops, 4-speed manual transmission, 8-track tape player. You guys know what that is?
Never seen one.
But I bought that car, and one of my best friend's dads found it actually when I was looking, and I think it only had like 4,000 miles on it or something.
Oh, really?
And I bought it in 80. What would I bought it about 84, 85? So it was several years old. The guy bought it brand new, kept it. When I bought it, it had never had the brakes changed on it. It had never been in a rainstorm. The guy kept immaculate shape of it, and then he sold it to a 18-year-old kid that just
beat the shit out of it.
Drove it like he stole it.
Yeah.
That was a fun because it was a 4-speed. So yeah, that car never went straight either. It was always sideways.
So from the 77, did you buy the IROC after that car?
Yeah. After that car was the IROC. That was a fun car. I mean, it was just fun because it was so fast. And one cool thing in my life is that every car I've ever owned, I've been able to do whatever I wanted to do to it. I had the facilities.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Expertise. I mean, everybody would love to do those things to their cars, but where do you just don't. Yeah. I had a lift. When I had that Volkswagen, I could change the clutch out in that Volkswagen in an hour.
Yeah.
Like I'd done it so many times. I'd burned the clutch up in it so many times. I could pull the motor by myself. I could pull the motor, put a clutch in it, and Grandpa had a flywheel machine, of course. So we did back it up to that was before the building was even in the back. I'd back it up to the auto gear side, and they'd be like, "Hey, you can't block us in," because it was a real long building, right? And there were 2 lifts in there, and you couldn't block the cars. "Hey, you can't block. I'll be done in an hour. You guys still have a couple hours. You'll be fine."
Right.
"Oh, you can't do that in an hour." "Okay, watch." And so pull it out, surface flywheel, put it all back together. Hour down the road. So that was a fun challenge. People always, "You can't do that in an hour." "Okay, we'll see. Let's time you. Go ahead."
Yeah, that's what I miss about the shop too, or what I missed so much. Once it wasn't there anymore.
Yeah, once it was gone.
All the lifts were gone. Even if the building was there, all the lifts were gone. All the equipment's gone. Like,
well, you missed it enough. You went and bought your own lift.
yeah, hell
Yeah.
yeah. Because I kept telling her like,
Well, I wanted him to have one too. So after he smushed his hand.
Oh, I didn't know about that.
yeah, when I dropped the transmission on my hand.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
Yeah, out in front of Cloudline Canyon.
yeah,
Yep.
in the garage.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, you don't really know how good you have it till it's gone.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
And
you complain about that all the time.
yeah, because just like that, like I would tell her, like, yeah, this should only take, an hour, 2 hours to do, and then it takes 8 hours because
You're on your back.
you don't have all the shit that that's sitting right there.
Yeah.
Everything's harder. It was a nightmare.
Yeah. So after my IROC, what did I get next? I traded my IROC in on a probably would have been about a 92 or 93. No, it was before that. 89-ish. Chevy half
That was
ton
a truck.
green 2-wheel drive single cab.
Wayne always
short
talks
bed.
about that truck.
That was a fun truck too.
He always is like, man, your dad had this badass green
I
Chevy
lowered
truck.
it. Yeah, lowered it. It was back when, like I bought custom mirrors for it, which didn't exist. They were like the prototype. Oh, this is a new custom thing you should be trying. So of course, at the SEMA show, I seen them. Like, I gotta have a pair. How much are they? Like, I don't know. You see the TikTok videos where people are shaking their credit card or something.
Yeah.
That was me, but it was cash. Yeah, I gotta have that. I don't care how much it costs. How much
Yeah.
you want? Can I take it home now? No, we'll ship it to you. No, I really need to take it home now. So okay, come back on the end of the show. We'll give it to you.
Right.
So that was a fun little truck. Didn't really do a lot to that truck other than drive it. I lowered it, I actually took the stock wheels off that truck and put some real plain wheels that didn't really work, didn't belong to that truck.
Yeah.
But man, it made
just
the truck
worked.
just looked good. Yeah, it just got lucky. It was like, wow, that really looks good. I should leave that on. I didn't put a low profile tire on it or anything. I put the, let's say, stock tire on it, and it sat up in the back just a little bit. So that was a fun truck. Sold that truck and bought I'm getting lost in my years now. A red. It was when the extra cab 3rd door truck came
I remember
out,
that
the first
truck.
year of that. So I bought a red 4-wheel drive truck. Where'd I go from there? Oh, and somewhere in there I had that 75. Or the
You had the 75 after the red truck then,
the
for sure.
77, the white one.
77.
Yeah, probably.
You definitely had it after the red truck. Because that was when you were running before you had the golf store.
Yeah, I had the 77. I had that at the shop because that's where I did all the work to it.
Yeah.
Wait, what's the vehicle that you had that Holly backed?
That was the IROC.
The IROC.
Oh, okay.
Picked it up from the body shop the day before.
Yeah, she
because
always says that.
one of my employees or my dad's employees at the shop, we always parked across the street, right, on Pioneer.
Yeah.
And I was following him down Pioneer, and he pulled to park there, and I was behind him the whole way down the street, and I pulled in behind him, and I backed into the next spot, and he never looked in his mirror and put it in reverse and just literally backed his. Man, his was like a 1954 Chevy truck that had been completely restored.
Oh, really?
Really nice, like dark maroon. His dad had restored it with him. He was a young kid, and like it was his first vehicle, and he backed it right up right on the hood of my IROC.
Oh, that
Oh
sucks.
my
Yeah,
god.
so I took it to the body shop, and Auto Magic. I'll never forget that place. That guy fixed so many of my cars, and he fixed it. I picked it up, drove it home, parked it in the driveway. And the next morning, your mom used to go to work really early in the morning, and she backed down the driveway, and she had a Corolla, Toyota Corolla then, and the mirror was it came down to a real sharp point on the end, and she drug the point of that mirror from the front corner of the car all the way to the back corner of the car.
Oh God.
Oh,
I remember when she came upstairs, she's like, I have to tell you something. I'm like, okay, why are you waking? Because she go to work at like 6 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, but why are you waking me up? What, like, are you okay? Like, what's wrong? What's going on? And, well, I might have wrecked your, I can't even remember what she said. But I remember saying, okay, thanks. I'm going to go back to sleep. It didn't even really hit me until I went downstairs to go to work, and I was like, oh, that's what she meant.
did. Oh gosh.
So then so it was a dark maroon color. So she had a maroon mark on her Corolla, and I had a big white mark down the side of my car.
Gosh. That's crazy.
So after the 77, I'm not sure what I drove. Oh, I think at that point Grandpa had a 2001.
You had that BMW.
Oh yeah, I bought a 540 BMW.
540, I think, was right after the white truck, right?
Probably.
Because you got in that wreck. You wrecked the white truck with me in it. Remember that guy pulled out in front of us on...
yeah.
And you...
Yep. Yeah, he
forever.
He begged for us not to call the cops.
Yeah.
Yeah. We didn't call the cops, by the way. We just hurt his car more than hurt ours, I think. But yeah, I remember that was at Valley View.
It cracked the rear wheel. Remember? Cracked the wheel.
On my truck?
Yeah, chunked a big piece out of the back wheel. So it was flat.
How did we get it back to the shop?
You just limped it up the
Probably
street because
drove
his
it,
apartment.
right?
Remember, his apartment was right there on the corner.
Yeah.
Right up the street.
DI.
And then I was, I don't know, I was like 12 maybe at the time, 13. And I remember it like clicking in my head because you had went into his apartment with him. And I was like, wait, this guy doesn't want him to call the cops. That must mean something's going on there. And then you just went into the apartment with him. So I'm like, oh wait, this might not be a safe situation or like a good idea. But it was all fine.
I never thought it was unsafe. I know. I don't think like that. So, we did crash that. I crashed a Toyota one time, 2-wheel drive little Toyota, the delivery truck going down Wynn Road. My dad said, go to Warehouse Inc. and get these parts. It was like 4:00 in the afternoon. we got to finish this car tonight. Go get him. Hurry up. Well, hurry up meant drive that car as fast as it would go. I was in fifth gear going down Wynn, and a lady pulled. She was stopped. It's a 2-lane road. She was stopped, and I couldn't get stopped, and there was a big light pole on the other side of her, so I had to go over the left side. Well, as soon as I got in the left lane to go around her, she pulled out, so I T-boned it. It's a big 4-door gold Lincoln. Just destroyed that truck.
Really?
Never drove this straight again. It shook. It did all kinds of crazy stuff. So, yeah, I've crashed a few things.
Yeah.
It's been fun.
Yeah, so I crashed my truck in a blizzard in Utah.
Yeah.
Going to college.
I did that once up in the Orem in my 77 Camaro. I didn't roll it, but I put it in the ditch in the middle.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, going around the point of the mountain.
Yeah,
on the way home from work on a Saturday.
I remember I had an Oric vacuum in the back of the truck. Remember I had that lid on it, tonneau cover. And I just remember, I don't know why, finding the Oric vacuum 100 yards from
away
from the truck. Like, oh yeah, I forgot that was back there. Yeah, so
obviously he never vacuumed his apartment ever.
No. I don't know why I had that. I don't even know where it came from. But I did that, and then I built that 408, put that setup in. I had the 408 with the 4L80, and then Mac made me do that burnout. I think I spun like 2 or 3 rod bearings at that.
at that point in time.
Yeah, at that stop sign. And so I had to tear the motor out and went and bought that little junkyard motor and then put the turbo on it. And that's where it sits now. It just sits doing nothing.
It's a fun truck to drive though. Like when it's running.
It runs so good.
Yeah. I remember you got a ticket on getting on the freeway one time.
Yeah. I was working. That's when I was working at.
Might literally be the dumbest thing you've ever said to a cop in your life.
What did I say?
He was telling you how fast you were going getting on the on-ramp because you said you were all the way in it, getting on there at Cheyenne, right?
Uh-huh.
And that's a really long on-ramp before it gets on the freeway.
Uphill?
Yeah.
I don't know why I love getting on it, going uphill too.
Yeah. You he was writing your ticket and you looked at him and said, well, did it at least sound good?
That's right. That's right. He had named off all the things that I had done wrong. Like, okay, I can get you for this. That's $500. I can get you for this. That's another $700. And then it was like, I'm up to $3,000 right now. Like, should I keep going? And I was like, no, please don't. I gotta go to work. And he's like, I know. I'm just gonna let you, like, just be safe going to work or whatever. I forgot I said that to him though. That's funny.
Yeah.
Did it sound good?
Well, did it at least sound good? And then you got a ticket on the freeway on New Year's Eve one time. That was the most expensive ticket. I've had a lot of tickets in my life. All right, let me tell you how many tickets I've had.
That was bullshit though.
You know, I've been arrested one time in my life. You didn't know that, Sam? Did you?
I did.
I'm a
Fugitive.
I'm home from college for my birthday. I'm home one day on a Friday. I come home early. I'm in bed at my parents' house when I was in college, and the cop knocks on the door and says, "Is Tod here?" And my mom goes, "Yeah, he's here. Let me get him." Mom, I'm here for one. Just say no. He's gone to college. You didn't have to come get me out of bed. So she gets me out of bed. Sure enough, cops are like, I got a warrant for your arrest. I'm like, okay, what happened? Well, you have 17 outstanding tickets.
Holy shit.
Oh my god.
Speeding tickets?
Speeding, yeah, mostly speeding, exhibition of power, that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
And yeah, so I got to go to jail for the day. That was kind of fun. But yeah, your ticket, that was a bullshit ticket for sure. You pulled over to the left side instead of the right side, and she wrote you a $750 ticket. The most expensive ticket I've ever paid in my life.
Yeah, it was when the 215 was like only 2 lanes too. So like the middle was literally like 2 or 3 lanes wide.
Yeah.
And she had pulled me over in the left lane, or I was cruising in the left lane. She got behind me. And so I was like I had just turned 16.
Yeah,
that was
you just
a month before that I had turned 16, so I was new.
Yeah, it was New Year's Eve. Yeah,
I was a month and a half in.
I was the math there.
A month and 10 days into driving, and she got behind me, lit me up, and I didn't like. There were cars on the right of me cruising in the lane too, so I thought I'll just get over to the left.
It looks
it's
safer.
Very safe. Yeah, instead of
easier.
me crossing over all the lanes to get over to the right. And then she wrote me for failure to yield to an emergency vehicle.
Yeah.
Like to me, that sounds like she had been behind me for miles
trying to get past
and
you.
And I didn't get out of her way, which is not true. She turned the light on and it was dark. It was midnight. It lit up my whole truck.
That's why she pulled you over, because you were supposed to be curfew, right? It was New Year's Eve, and
I don't remember why.
Under 18, you were supposed to be at a house. And so,
right.
Yeah. I had a good conversation with the judge about that.
Well, he almost got another ticket at that price.
That was just a couple weeks ago.
Just about a month ago.
Driving the Corvette too fast.
No.
Her Denali.
Yeah.
Oh.
We were going to Cedar.
He said, "Do you know how fast you were going?" And I was like, I didn't want to be like, well, at what point? But he was like, I was like, no, what'd you get me at? And he goes, well, 105. No, 106.
I think it was 106.
106. And he was like, there's a new law in Utah where anything over 100 or anything over 105? I think it was anything over 105 is automatic, like reckless driving or whatever.
Tow the vehicle.
Starts at 700. Yeah. And I was like, all right, well, obviously I'm sorry, but you know, what do you want me to say? Yeah. What are you going to do now? And so he wrote me for like 90 in an 80. So very nice.
So you were up above St. George then.
Yeah.
Near Cedar.
It was it was right before Cedar.
Yeah.
We were almost there.
That's funny. Where were you going?
We were going to a football game for my brother.
Oh, in Cedar?
In Cedar.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
that was fun. But besides that, I've been pulled over. She's only been pulled over once. I've been pulled over.
In your life?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow. You should get out once in a while.
Right before, or actually it was on my 21st birthday. I got pulled over. Got a ticket.
For what?
Speeding.
Oh. So do you know where Western High School is, right? And there's Bonanza Road, ends at Decatur. Decatur. Well, next there's Friendly Ford. One day I come out of school and I park in the back parking lot. I had my Volkswagen at the time. And I'm pulling out, and I don't know, for some reason I wanted to be loud and stupid. So I got out and I pulled the baffle out of the exhaust on my Volkswagen. It was super loud. And there was water running down Bonanza. Like there was a broken water pipe or something. And there was a reasonable amount of water running down there. And I pulled out on the Bonanza and I put it into third gear and popped the clutch, and just as long as I could spin the tires from the back parking lot to Decatur, as full throttle, it was loud. I mean, just
Popping.
yeah. And as I'm going up, everyone's watching me, of course. I pass up 2 motorcycle cops. Like they're sitting on Bonanza, taking a radar of people getting out of school in the school zone. So I'm in a school zone.
Yeah.
Right. Exhibition of power. Yeah. So getting a speeding ticket's just kind of
second nature to you at this point.
Yeah. It was like, it probably wasn't the smartest thing to do, but it was fun.
Which is so hysterical now because you literally drive like a turtle.
Well, I'm old.
Every time we go somewhere, we're like, oh, he drives 40 on the freeway. That's weird. That's not how he used to drive.
I don't think I drive quite 40, but
people honk at you a lot?
No, never once.
He's lying.
No, I will tell you this. So my truck I drive now is a pretty tall truck, right?
Yeah.
And I do like driving that. Like if I go, we have a Grand Cherokee and then I have my lifted Chevy truck, right? And if I get in the Grand Cherokee, I don't like driving it because it's low to the ground, it's little, and nobody gets the hell out of my way. But when I'm in my white truck, nobody pulls out in front of me, nobody changes lanes in front of me, nobody.
That's true. It's a different story when you look in your rearview mirror and the truck is very tall in your window. And
I like that. That's one reason why I like driving it, because it just, people stay out of my way. I don't have to worry about when I'm in the Grand Cherokee, man, it's just like everyone's pulling out in front. They're trying to beat you around the corner. They're trying to, just drives me crazy.
Yeah.
So
that's true.
Anyway, where were we at on cars? Where did I
think
I don't think I had any other cool cars after that.
Yeah, I think you hit your
77.
And you got that BMW.
That Beamer, that was a short little.
Yeah.
That was a fun car though, because it had a 4.0 liter in that little 5 Series.
Yeah.
I remember Mac had what do you have, an Infinity
FX45.
FX45. Thought it was the fastest thing on the planet.
Yeah.
Smoked him going up Spring Mountain Road one time. He was so pissed off. What does that have in it? What have you done to that? Just smoked you. That's all I've done in it. So that was a fun little car. I had a car for like I've always just driven trucks, right? I couldn't drive that very long. I got another truck, I think, between that, but then I bought Grandpa's 2001 Chevy 4-door, had the big motor, not
8.1.
the 8.1
with the Allison in it.
Yeah. That was a fun, drove the hell out of that truck. I think I had 225,000 miles on it when I finally got rid of it.
Yeah.
And then I've got a half-ton 4-door gas with the 6.3 in, or 6.4.
6.2.
6.2. That's a fun. I raced a guy yesterday.
You did?
Yeah, last night. Or I told you I haven't slept in a couple of days, right? So I went to work at 3:30 2 days ago in the morning because I couldn't sleep. And I'm going up St. Rose Parkway, and this guy pulls up in this little Dodge. I don't know. It wasn't a Challenger or a Charger, but I don't remember. I couldn't really tell what it was because it was dark. But it sounded like it had a little bump to it, and he had the radio turned up, and he's sitting at the light, and I'm like, oh, sounds like it runs pretty good. My truck's kind of a sleeper because you don't really know that half-ton's got that big a motor in it, right?
Right.
So I just kind of gave it a little bump there before the light turned green, and he looked up at me, and I just kind of smiled.
That's where I get it from. I literally do. It embarrasses her so bad, but we'll pull up to some piece of shit or whatever, and I'll just nudge at him, and she's like, "Oh my gosh, please stop! This is so embarrassing." And then we're like, off the light, and she's dying. It's so funny.
Yeah, you picked up some not so good habits from you.
Yeah.
But yeah,
that's funny.
Anyway, I got to race him going up 3:30 in the morning up St. Rose Parkway. I beat him, but he stopped at the next light and looked over at me, and he's like, and I'm like, see you later.
Those are the best. I've had a few of those in my truck too. Obviously, a little Chevy truck. Nobody expects it to be fast. I remember one time coming home from, I think it was Adart, maybe it was Yesco, going back home to Cloudland, and there was a guy in a Camaro, and he was trying to race everybody. Like, he just wanted to race. I don't know what.
He was looking for a race.
Yeah, he was looking for a race, and I remember him pulling up to Mustangs and like revving, and like he just wanted to race everybody. And so I was like, oh man, I got this guy in the bag. He had I think he had like a ZL1, like the baddest Camaro that they make.
Like the white one Mac used to have?
Mac had the 1LE, so he had the ZL1 is the supercharged version of that.
Okay.
So I didn't know if I would get him or not, but I knew it was going to be a good race. It'd be fun as hell.
You're turbocharged and
So I followed him literally from like, I can't remember. Maybe it was like Tropicana, pretty much all the way home. And we never got to a point where it was going to be a good place to get on it. But he tried everybody under the sun the whole time. And so I just kind of cruised behind him. And then I actually missed. We finally got to a spot, going down that hill to Cheyenne.
yeah.
And then as soon as you start coming up, well, I finally got to a point where there was no traffic at the bottom of that hill. And so as soon as we got to the bottom of that hill.
So wait, let's be clear so that people understand. You passed up your exit on the freeway.
Yes.
To race this guy.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Is I literally
like this wasn't a coincidence.
No,
you were hunting one too.
Everything aligned at the bottom of Cheyenne. So I was like, okay, I'm going to miss my exit.
You'd already missed it at that point.
Yeah. I had to make
funny.
that decision. Like, oh my, I'm finally getting to the point where this is going to happen. And there's the exit. I'm like, okay, I got it. This is going to work. So at the bottom of Cheyenne, I pulled up next to him and I dropped a gear. And so as soon as he heard that, we just both took off and I never saw him.
Really?
Yeah. And it was just, I remember feeling like this is the fastest I've ever gone in my life. Like this truck is running so good. And I thought he would get me, but I never saw him. So I let off and I looked back and he was quite a ways back there. And he was so pissed. Like he was so butthurt. I've never been pissed off like losing a race or whatever. Like that was fun. Thanks. Like good time, buddy. But he was livid. So I slowed down so I could see him. And
he wouldn't even look at you.
No, he pulled up next to me and was like livid. And I was like, what happened?
Where were you?
You're in a ZL1 Camaro. And then he like looked over, like shaking his head and then took off. That was probably the best kill I've ever had. It was
just another hater. That's all.
Yeah, I know.
Just another hater.
You should tell
He
your
sold
dad.
that car he sold that car that day, I'm sure.
Traded it in.
Some piece of shit Chevy truck, 20 years old.
You should tell your dad about the chick that, remember when we were getting on the freeway from Cheyenne, from Cloudland? And she just would not stop staring at us and then rear-ended
That was terrible.
on the freeway.
We got on Cheyenne and going north. And I don't know if she knew me or she thought she knew me or she was staring at her or what. But this chick was on the freeway and weren't we getting on at the same time? And she just was staring. I was like, she was staring at us or staring at me in the driver's seat. And so I like looked at her like, why is this chick staring at me? She literally never stopped looking at me. And so I was like getting on and she's just staring at me the whole time. Doesn't see that traffic is completely stopped in front of her on the freeway. And she's like,
Just crash.
yeah, it just happened. Like we were because we were having the conversation. Why is she staring at us? What's going on? What, like, is something wrong with our car or does she know us?
Is my zipper down? What's going on?
Yeah, I like asked her like, who's this chick? Why is she staring at us? And then we both look over and she's just like into the car in front of her.
That's funny.
It was crazy. So weird. But yeah, Grandpa always had that thing, right? Where he had, like you did with all those vehicles before, like the hottest shit on the road. Always that thing, right? Every car was
A disease.
yeah. I remember.
It's a disease we have. Yeah. It's a medical condition. There's no cure for it.
Stop.
But it's fine. I mean, it's fun. It's what
Yeah.
Cars have been that's been my life for like being in the real estate business I'm in now. Don't really have the opportunity to do much stuff like that. So
Yeah. Do you miss that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I've built a couple of custom Harleys in my life.
Yeah.
When I got out of that world and into real estate world, I've actually still kind of done some things. I built some pretty nice custom bikes that they're in my garage. I don't ride them much, but
Right. When's the last time you rode yours?
from when I moved from where I lived to where I live now,
Gotcha.
it's not registered. So,
Yeah. but
but I did fire it up and
Still runs.
yeah, still turn the retire over. No
Yeah.
problem.
That's good. Yeah, Grandpa, I always tell her, like, I wish I would have figured out a way to get the Hummer. That thing was such a stupid truck.
Yep.
And it was the
I remember
best.
we went to Idaho and picked that thing up. We're driving it back and I'm sitting in the seat. I was actually driving and I couldn't understand why the door panel was so far away from me.
Yeah, it was so
Like
big.
you couldn't I put my arm up on the window thing when I'm driving it. It was totally uncomfortable. I'm like, this is the stupidest car I've ever seen in my life. Why did you buy this thing?
I always laugh with her because he had to get the truck version too, right?
Oh yeah,
the truck
the
version.
Truck version, yeah.
And I always tell her he can't even fit his golf clubs in the truck.
Well,
the bed of the truck.
Well, he couldn't because there was an air tank back there and all this stuff. Yeah. Same thing. He gets the Hummer, and what does he do to it? First thing, he puts 40-inch tires and wheels and tires on it, right? Which makes it look as unique. Nothing else looked like it, right?
No, everybody who had a Hummer at that, like the Hummers were the hot thing at that time, but all the rappers were putting 24-inch wheels on them, lowering them.
But they were all blinged out.
Chrome, everything. He is completely, that's why I was like, wait, what, you're getting a Hummer? Like, why are you getting a Hummer? That's so weird. And he's like, yeah, I saw a little thing. Just wait till you see it. And I'm like, okay.
One thing Grandpa was really, really good at was he had an eye for cars.
Yeah, he did.
He had
100%.
an eye for what to use, what not to use, what to do, what not to do. Everything he's ever owned was like, he showed me the wheels that he put on that 2001 that I owned. Mm-hmm. Literally the ugliest wheel in the catalog. Dad, that's that's
flipping
not
through
the
the
wheel.
page.
Yeah, that's not the wheel. That's not what. Oh yeah, we're putting this wheel on it. No, Dad. Look at, you got center lines you can get. I mean,
he put those Eagle. I don't even know what model they were.
I'm like, that's crap. That's the worst thing. And he's like, no, they're gonna look good. I couldn't. When he put them on there, I was like, son of a bitch.
Yeah, like I heard numerous people as he's leaving places be like, man, that truck. That's the baddest truck I've ever seen.
Yeah, that was a good truck. I drove it for a long time too.
Yeah.
I bought it when it had 17,000 miles on it.
17?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
you didn't drive it, huh?
Hardly any. That was a good truck.
Yeah, that was
the Hummer, do you still have the horn?
Too. I have the horn, yeah. I got to figure out what to do with it, where to put it.
It's got to go on the Jeep.
It's got to go somewhere. I don't give a shit if I mount it. I want to mount it to the roof of our house every time we get a sale.
So it's a train horn.
Yeah.
So when Grandpa told me he's putting a train horn on his Hummer, I was like, okay, I'm thinking this little horn's makes a little train sound, right? No, it's a full-fledged, full-on, came off of a train.
Yeah, it came off a real deal train.
Right? It's got an air tank in the back, and it's got a big valve inside the truck that you pull up and down. You still
Control
got the valve and all that
horns.
stuff.
Yeah, everything.
Yeah, it's crazy. I literally believe that he caused more than 10 people to actually shit themselves. He would drive down the road and pull that thing on. We was right next to the curb and scare the living hell out of people.
Yeah, the heart attack statistics in the Las Vegas area rose for some reason at this time.
Yeah.
I mean, that was a great truck.
That was a good truck.
And again, it was supercharged. Like,
yep.
It was one of those
he did something else to it. He did supercharge it. That's what he did to it. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Didn't come supercharged.
No, him and Mac bought superchargers at the same time. Yeah. Mac did. Oh, there's your boy.
UPS is
rub your hands through his beard. Yeah.
Look, she can't even decide whether to get up or not.
I know. She's like,
do I
this
get
is
up?
awkward.
Do I need to?
Should I go? Should I stay? I want to go see him.
Maybe I'll just look at him on the Ring app.
Well, I don't know. Like, do you have to sign for it?
I don't know. Maybe you should go.
I should go see. I'll get up again.
Yeah. But yeah, and it was all-wheel drive, supercharged 6-liter.
Yep.
That thing would hop, jump
Same
everywhere.
Thing. Spin the tires.
It was fun.
A lot of fun.
Yeah, I always tell her I wish I would have figured out a way. Obviously, I didn't have any money then, and I was young. But when he got rid of it, I wish that was just such a. Nobody had that. Nobody had that.
Well, nobody still has it.
Yeah, true.
Right? I mean, it's still, even every Hummer you see out there looks like every Hummer that I see looks like some homeowner went to Lowe's and bolted a bunch of shit on the side of it, and they just look horrible.
Yeah.
They just look, every chrome piece you can buy, every little guard, every little, they look terrible. And that's what Grandpa was super good at, was he could
everything
put
was very
together.
Like minimalist, right? But it looked so clean and so good.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had a lot of nice. I mean, the blue, wasn't it blue? The blue dually he had dropped.
The blue streak.
It was
had the 4-door Chevy dually with a shell on the back of it, and then it had a wing off of a Toyota Corolla on the top. Top of the shell. Yeah, on the very back of it. He put a wing on the back of it. Call that a blue streak.
Yeah, they
crashed that on Decatur. Tried to kill me one day. Yeah. We were leaving from lunch, and he pulled out in front of a guy, and the guy T-boned us. Truck was completely full like put Driveline Service and Auto Gear out of business right there that day. Really? Everybody had to go home. So, but me, I had to go back and finish a rear end job that was there that was got to be done that night. To this day, I don't know if that rear end works or not because I had a concussion for sure. Yeah. And back then, we didn't really know what concussions were. I just didn't feel good.
Yeah.
Did you get your phone?
I did, and it was the UPS.
Son of a bitch.
And
he has an accent.
Oh, you talked to him this time.
Yeah.
They exchanged
We exchanged numbers. Just kidding.
Well, he knows where you live, so.
He waves at her every time we leave the neighborhood and he's coming in.
He does not.
What kind of accent does he have?
Like a southern.
Sexy one.
Yeah, southern, sexy kind of accent.
It just gets worse.
And he likes dogs, so we kind of connected.
So now we know.
And he likes dogs, so obviously you had a good conversation with him.
Yeah, so now we know that everything she orders online will be UPS.
She pays
FedEx
extra.
Or UPS, I'll pay the UPS fee.
It's free Prime Amazon, but do you guys offer UPS delivery?
Can I pay $7.99 for the UPS delivery, please?
You guys are so dumb.
Oh gosh.
We just think that's what we would do. Like if she was hot, the UPS men would do that for sure.
Oh God. That's funny.
Oh.
Yeah, so I'm glad to hear that your love for cars still exists because that's kind of a huge thing.
It does, but it doesn't. I don't really do much about it, and I hate myself for that. Like,
well, you've been busy. You got 2 kids. You got thing. Yeah, you've been busy. You got married. Before you were married, that's all you did.
That's just an excuse,
Sam.
though.
I know.
Yeah, you really ruined it for me.
I know I did. I'm sorry.
Don't be sorry. It's good.
I'm way better than your truck. What are you talking about?
Those are fighting words right there. Watch out.
I would take you over the truck, but I haven't gotten rid of the truck
As
either.
I said,
So
the truck is still in the family. So
it's his secret.
yeah, I always think about that. Like, I don't really have anything. We don't really have any the Jeep is cool, but we haven't had any a lot of cool vehicles.
The Corvette's cool.
Well,
I like the Corvette.
But we've mostly just had
wait, you bought a pretty cool car before you guys got married. What was that?
Yeah,
my FRS.
Yeah,
FRS.
That was a cool little car. Fun little car to drive.
It was.
Yeah.
I liked that car.
Yeah.
What did you drive before that? Like a Pontiac 4-door, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Was it gray or something?
It was gold.
Gold.
And then before that, I had a 1994 Ford F-150.
Oh, that's better, but it's a Ford.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
The only thing worse than a Ford's a Dodge. So.
The Pontiac had the dash mat in it though.
It did.
So
did it have your name on it?
No.
So at the Driveline Service, we sold the dash covers that you could get your name on.
That's right.
Yeah,
are you serious?
Yeah.
I don't know why I always, every time I got in that car, I always gave her shit like, oh, this dash mat is legit. This is nice.
Okay, that was a hand-me-down. So I didn't actually purchase that.
Yeah, you kept it in there though.
But
you could have taken it out.
Well, that's only because the previous owner wrecked it and the airbags had gone off. They had deployed. So that covered.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I got it.
You probably told me that several times, but I try to not remember that part because I just like to know that car had that sick dash mat in it.
The FRS was way better. I was so excited when I got that car.
Yeah, that was a nice car.
Yeah.
And then I literally had it for 6 months, a year.
Yeah, and then you decided to get pregnant.
We got pregnant, had to get rid of it.
Yeah, you didn't have it very long.
What did you
got it
drive after
summer.
that? The Denali?
No, we got the Cruze.
The Chevy Cruze.
The Chevy Cruze that got
that's
totaled.
right.
Little tiny.
The Chevy Cruze that you crashed on Durango. Somebody rear-ended you.
Yeah.
And then we got a Durango.
Then you got a Durango. Yeah.
Which was wrecked. And we didn't know.
Oh, before you got it.
Something happened.
Yeah.
You bought it used
We
or
don't know.
something.
Yeah, we don't know what happened, but
And then we got the Jeep. And then we got the Nolly.
that's right.
And then the vet.
And then the vet.
Yeah,
The vet's fun.
You're moving up.
We've literally had more cars than the years we've been married.
We got to keep that tradition.
Me too. Same. I sell houses for a living, and so
Oh yeah,
people,
you guys.
Yeah, I mean, we move every 3 years. It's just
You're due then.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Been that
your
for a
house is
while.
done too, so I told you I'm gonna have someone take pictures of it. And it's not for any other reason than you're gonna sell it. So
That'd be great.
I want to be ready.
I always tell her.
He has been, and I'm like, I'm not packing again. Sorry.
Oh, I actually see him on my website all the time looking at houses. So
Yeah.
He always
I get an
is.
email, Jake Barton clicked on 3 consecutive houses. I'm like,
Really?
so yeah,
That's funny.
yeah.
We just want to waste your time again.
No, I get those emails all the time, and I'm like, oh, I reckon that's Jake.
We
Oh,
always laugh
looking at
about that too
houses.
because we wasted a lot of your time driving
No, well, we waste any of my time.
all over the place, and then we end up finding this house like ourselves.
All yourself at
Right.
an open house,
Yep.
which is
Yeah.
against the rules. You can't do that.
Yeah. Yet we go and look at like 30 different houses with you, and then
Yeah.
we still come back to like, okay, this is still
Yeah, but
the
you
one.
got what you wanted. And this is a great house. This is a good house for you guys.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
It's
it
in the
is.
wrong part of town, but
Yeah.
not because it's not safe out here, but because it's so far away from me. But
Yeah.
I would like your shop to be in the south part of town, and I'd like your house to be in the south part of town, because then I could visit more often. I mean, but yeah, it's a 45-minute an hour drive out here.
Yeah.
By the way, I'm going to make that drive again in the morning, right?
Yes.
So
That's
by the
right.
time I
Had some
get
space for you.
home, yeah, I'll have to gas up again, and because when you drive a 6.2, they're not the best on gas. So
For real.
Yeah,
You
we
need to
owe
get a
you
Prius.
gas now.
Maybe we'll donate you a Prius. You can just park that on the side of your garage and
I'll
then
tow that with my truck. Put it in the bed of my truck.
yeah.
Can you even see your dad in a Prius?
No,
I
that'd
would
be
die
hilarious.
laughing.
I can't
That's
even
part
fit
of
in
the
a
fun.
Prius.
Yeah, I wonder what that's like. I've never been in a
Well,
Prius.
when your mom had that white Corolla, that was the problem. I didn't fit in it.
Oh, really?
She had that before we got married, and
Was it an
I
Altima?
did not fit in it. No, I think
It was a Corolla?
she crashed the Corolla. I don't know if you know. She has
Okay.
like pins in her ankle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She got in a car accident.
Yeah.
She crashed that Corolla, and that's when she got the Altima.
Okay. Gotcha.
Or was it a Maxima? No, it was an Altima.
Oh, it might have been a Maxima.
I don't remember.
I don't
I
know.
would think it would be a Maxima, because I would buy a Maxima and not an Altima.
You would. Because
Me
the name has
personally.
Max in it, or what?
No, because it's the bigger, nicer.
Is it? I guess I don't know my Nissans too well. Even though I did have that badass Sentra for a while.
You did have that nice
I
black
forgot about the
Sentra. Who'd you
Sentra.
get that from? You got that from somebody.
That was from
Like, it was a
Sierra.
donation.
Yeah, from Jordan, Savannah and Sierra's sister.
Yeah,
that was
yeah,
her
yeah.
car.
Yeah.
I loved that car.
Really?
That was so fun.
I drove that
Such a
car
beater.
while you were working on your
Yeah.
black truck.
Uh huh.
Yeah.
And it just went everywhere I wanted it to.
Yeah, that is
So
one thing that's
embarrassing.
nice about having a production car and a performance car, right?
Yeah.
Until you can get a performance car like a Corvette or something like
Right.
that. I mean, it's nice to have one you can rely on. It's going to start every single time, and then you get your performance car that's
Fun.
no.
to go.
Before injectors were around, when everything was carbureted, there were days you just couldn't get it to fire. It'd flood
Right.
out, and you have to wait an hour for it to clear up. And,
Right.
yeah. So
I mean, I remember doing that it's funny you saying you doing that burnout in front of your school. Because once we put the 383, remember I had those cutouts, electric cutouts.
Mm-hmm.
So every day, that's how I left school every single day. Cutouts open, fire it up, and then cruise out of school real slow, and then down the street it'll just
get on it.
get on it because there was that Centennial long
Yeah.
straight.
Going downhill.
Yeah, that's fun.
Yeah, you're more like your dad than you probably know. I don't know if that's good or bad, but yeah,
I know he is.
we've definitely had a lot of fun in cars, and that's cool that's what business you're in, right? I mean,
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're in the. I always wondered why you didn't just take over the drivetrain.com thing, but
we talked about it. We talked about it with him, and
I watched your podcast about how creating a new brand and your new thing that makes total sense. Yeah, so it's worked out good.
yeah, I mean, we talked
Yeah.
about it with Grandpa a lot because once we decided, yeah, we're gonna do this. Then yeah, we had that conversation with him. What do you think? Should we? Because that was always like I remember him coming to me and being like, "You should take this over. Like this can all be yours or whatever. Run with it." And I always thought like, "Well, hell yeah, let's do it." But it just never actually happened.
Never, yeah.
And
He really had a hard time getting out of the business when it was time for him to retire.
right,
Again, another thing that kind of, we had some conversations as I was younger about Driveline Service and how
Right.
that was all going to transition, how that was going to happen, and
because of the way it transitioned with like his dad, right?
he just couldn't get out. He
Yeah.
just couldn't walk away. I mean, he worked until he was 70, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because he just couldn't get away from it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have the same sickness. I can't get away from it either.
Yeah, and I don't think I'll ever be at a point where I would want to, right? Like, don't you want something to do?
Well,
like, don't you want
yeah.
to be involved? Like,
Yeah, but I think you should understand that it's a little different today because many of the things that you guys can do to run your businesses, it's more remote, right? I mean, you can work from home. You don't, Grandpa got up every morning at 7:00 and drove to the shop, and he worked at the shop, and he crawled around on the ground, and he did all that stuff. And there was no other way to make any money. There was no side, like everybody has a little side gig nowadays because you can do something online, and there was no such thing as a side gig. It was make this shit happen or go get a job somewhere, right? So I think it's a little different nowadays. Yeah, you can definitely stay in it way longer because you can, what you're doing behind your computer every day is something you can do until you die.
Yeah,
long as you keep up with the technology,
right?
Which we've already talked about. We fight a little bit, but we probably should get over that and just go with the flow.
Yeah, of course.
Keep shooting. This is going to be on YouTube, yeah?
Yeah.
You haven't asked them to subscribe. You haven't asked them to like the video.
We usually do that at the end.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
All right.
Who knows if I'll make it to the end though? Somebody will.
What's the end?
Well, we've already
We're
been at it
almost
for
2
2 hours.
You gotta get going.
I had an appointment at 11.
Whoopsie.
Oh shit.
That's who's blowing up your phone.
No, it's another broker's calling me. I don't know what that's about, but
yeah, we can end this here. It's been a while.
Whatever.
We'll probably have to have you on again.
Cool.
Yeah,
I'd like to
we
be
will.
on, and then I want to have you guys on mine.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Because I sell houses for a living, and I'll comment on this, and is it okay if I put my channel address down?
Of course.
100%.
And I've sold helped you buy Cloudline Canyon, sold that. You guys bought this together.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to have some guests on my show that are going to talk about some of the experiences they've had buying and selling houses and what that looked like. So
Yeah, all that process.
yeah, you'll have to drive to my side of town
That's
when
great.
that happens, but I don't
You'll
know.
have to have your studio set up so
Studio, trust me, they'll have it.
You're on it?
Yeah, they're on it. I don't
good.
really know what to do, but they're calling me and texting me, and they're like, we need these lights and this light and that light. And I'm like, dude, that one light's $500.
Yeah, I know,
You
it's
really need
crazy.
that one light. He goes, I'll tell you what, I know a guy that has 2 of them. I'll go borrow them and see if they work. And then we'll see about buying some. And I'm like,
Right.
well, ask him if he wants to sell his used ones because I might buy $500 for 2 of them, but I don't know if I want to, get into this whole thing for a couple grand.
No, it's
to
pretty
see if-
crazy to get started. You can get started relatively cheap, obviously, but in order to do it right and it look good and it be something that somebody wants to watch.
Well, I think
gotta drop a pretty penny.
if you're sitting in a setting like this, I think people expect the production quality to be up there.
Right.
Yeah.
If you're shooting on the go, lifestyle type stuff, I think whatever you can get outside is what happens.
Yeah.
But yeah, you'll get to a point where this will just be like perfect every single time because you get the studio all set up and ready to go. So
Right.
I'll keep you up on how.
Yeah,
what
we'll
that
have to
looks
see
like
how you
for
set
us.
up.
Yeah.
Awesome.
All right. Well,
All
thanks
right.
for driving all the way out here.
Yeah.
Yes.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
Of
Love
course.
you guys.
Love you too.
Love you too.
If you like this video, subscribe
Oh, and like
and like it
and share it.
and share it.
Yeah.
And go to his channel too. Well, like I said, I'll
Yeah.
put it in the description too and share that out.
Yeah. Cool. That'd be
Awesome.
All right.
All
See
right.
you guys.
Thanks.
Thanks.